Reporting to you with no bias, informing you with no exceptions, nothing but the facts. Let's get the truth together. We the people, we the voice, we are the news now.
Hello, I'm Roxanne, the Globalist DENIER. That is 007, and we are Really Woke Reports Live, talking to you from London. 007 is talking to you from Tenerife, and the third additive into the mix tonight is Noel Harry Watson Mobile from the island of Malta. Hi, darling.
Still not working. Yes, Molly. Still not working.
It's all good. Thank you so much to everyone in the chat room for waiting for us. I know I said I was going to come on at 7:30, but I had a few things keeping me a kerfuffle behind the scenes. No, I'll pop you back off mute. I didn't know if I was supposed to have you off mute. Are you all right there, darling? On mute again. Cool. That's all good. Right. So Noel's talking to you from Malta. 00's talking to you from Tenerife. I'm talking to you from London. All of you that are in the chat room that are okay with letting everyone know where you're from, can you give yourself a shout out and let us know where you are living on the international plane tonight? I'm London, Double's Tenerife, and Noel is Malta. Where are you guys listening to us from? Dave Marsh, lovely to see you in the chat room. Let us all know how you're doing over there in Fuerteventura. But yeah, let us know where you are on the international plane. I'd like to know where you are. Let us know how you're feeling today. Let us know how everything's going where you are, as we want to know everything's cool with you all. I don't know where to start, actually. I do know where to start, but I don't know what order to go in. So first and foremost, I'm going to go for you, Double. This is Tuesday night. This would have actually been your night off, wouldn't it? And also, before you answer me, Double, in the chat room, can you press 1 if this situation internationally has affected you going to work, and press 2 if everything's tickety-boo and nothing's affected you and you're still going to work fine and everything's perfect? I assume you know what I'm talking about. I'm talking about the international madness that's going on just now. 2 of the panel members tonight have been affected. Their work has been massively affected. I've had conversations with people on the phone today whose work and life has just been massively affected by this as well. We want you to all know that you're not on your own. I've also put a post today in my community section asking, has your mobile service provider been okay today? I've had a few people in London and the UK phoning me saying the reception, like if you're not on Wi-Fi and making internet calls, it's been really difficult to communicate. Okay, I'm liking that. Tomashino, Claire, and One Walking Life, and Joe Mega. Okay, cool. Cool from Eric, Jane. Okay, so it's a bit of a mix. We've got 1s and 2s in the chat room. So again, now you can all see in the chat room who's been affected and who's not been affected. And honestly, guys, if there's any usable, helpful information you can give your counterparts in the chat room, please go ahead and share. Because there's a lot of people, as I said, that haven't been affected by this. There's a lot of people that have been affected. And I just want to try and be helpful to you all. Before I go into what my day's been like, Double, how are you doing? You're over there in Tenerife. The lockdown's happening where you are. How's
Double?
Oh yeah, sorry, yeah, sorry. Anon. Oh, I'm so rubbish, aren't I? Anon. Anon.
Jesus. Roxanne.
Keep it on though. Keep it on. It was good. No, don't.
No, I'm getting hot. I can't smoke properly. I want to drink my coffee. Oh, yeah. So, do you know what? I mean, I'll be honest with you, guys. Today, for the first time, I did I felt different today. I'm still not scared. I'm not worried, which is still a bit weird, but like I went outside today and it's just different. The air is different. It feels like it was actually going outside that caused it. I went outside and I listened. I was listening for what I can always normally hear, and I couldn't hear a thing. So I looked around and there's nobody, and it's only a little village, but normally the kids are running around everywhere. There's no kids anywhere. There's no normally you got the guy driving around with the gas and the water who beeps his, comes around with the lorry and beeps.
Right.
And so I had a message from my boss today, saying, "Hey buddy, how you doing? Hope you're all right." And I asked him what was going on, because honestly, I actually don't really know what's going on in this country, because it's, you know, it's the only sources I've got are obviously the mainstream Canarian Weekly and stuff like that, and then word of mouth, and word of mouth has been varied. So
Yeah.
I found what the Prime Minister said, and you know, I think I read that out last night. You know, we can walk our dogs. And so when I asked Martin today, I just played dumb with him and said, you know, I don't know what's going on, man. Can I walk my dog? Can I go to the shop? What can I do? Because I wanted to see what his response was. And he said, yeah, you can walk the dog. You can go to the shop. You can walk your dog, but not to Las Americas, because I live half an hour away from Las Americas. But
he knows you too well, Rich. He knows you too well.
You can go to the supermarket. You can go to the chemist. But when you go to the supermarket, there's queues outside. He said, go to Hyperdino and San Isidro, but there'll be queues outside of people, and they're only letting 10 or 15 people in at a time. And you have to keep a meter space between everybody. I've got another friend who is, her friend is sick, and so she's staying there looking after him because he's been looking after her dog for her. So she's going over there now to look after him. But yeah, he's not doing too well. So
Oh my goodness.
I'm sure it's just a who knows, isn't it? Who knows?
Right.
He's not doing too well, and apparently it is. He has got he's having difficulty breathing. So who knows, man?
Oh, man.
You know, he might, because he had underlying health issues anyway. It might just be those health issues that he had anyway. It might just be, you know, something that he would have got anyway, even if this coronavirus wasn't the thing.
So I've got a few people in the chat room, Rich. Some people shout out to Dividante. In fact, while we're here, if it's okay with you guys, I'm just going to give a shout out to them now. No comment. Johnny G, Martin Ellen, lovely to see you. King Xenomorph, lovely to see you too. Magic, Dave Marsh. Dave Marsh says, yeah, same in Fuerteventura. Exactly the same for him. He's just over the water there. And Vertec as well. He's there too. And to Asita. Hello, gorgeous girl. Lovely to see you. That was Asita, who is with us at Speaker's Corner on Sunday. So everybody say hi to Sita.
You are awesome, girl. You are absolutely awesome, man.
Isn't she just?
God, you're so gorgeous.
She said, it got me worried today. 3 times it wouldn't let me connect my calls. Okay, I'm so glad you've answered that, sweetheart. Like, because a lot of people have been getting hold of me today saying it's completely messed up their schedule today. A lot of people have been relying on being able to call people. Not all of us use, you know, I think you can all relate to this, that not everyone uses internet calling for absolutely everything. So when you need to actually make a real reception call, yeah, Asita, it's been down, up and down, 3G, Vodafone and O2. I'm on GIFGAF, and I ended up having to accept a call on my landline. Imagine that, old school, 0208, 02. My house phone rang and I was talking to you. It wasn't a double, and I was like, house phone. And it's someone saying, I can't get through to your phone. I'm trying to call you. They've got no internet where they are. So they had to call me. They had no choice to call me by how they were doing it. So, yeah. Is that me?
Sorry.
No worries.
Yeah.
No worries.
I've just gone back out and come back in as me. So Asita, that's the girl on the
yes,
on the wheels.
Yes. Yeah, and that's the same for me. The people I'm calling, it's either doesn't, you know, it failed or didn't exist in the first place. Rich, someone said, yeah, make sure, people are making sure that you're paying attention to your mic and where it is, because I think they're trying to keep an eye on what you're saying, and sometimes your voice is going and coming back again. Richie, audio is very low.
My mic is here.
Okay, they're struggling to hear you, so we need to sort this mic situation.
Okay, here we go.
No, that's too loud. That's too much. Yeah.
About like that.
Okay, guys, give me a
Is that
1 if
better?
his audio is better now, please. Give me a 1 if that's okay for you, and give me a 2 if you still can't hear him.
Does that sound okay for everybody? Testing, testing. 1, 2.
Love it. It says, Roxanne, can you thank Rich for me for showing me those links? From Kieran.
No worries, mate. It's
Yeah.
on. It's yeah. I showed them in the Really Wokes chill out afterwards, and that 2.5 hour stream afterwards. It's one of the first things I did was show the streams of that Gregory, whatever his name is. You know, the guy, the financial analyst that he seems to be.
Yep, we got 1s from everybody. Everyone can see you lovely now. Lovely.
All right, cool.
Tip top, old chap. So
Thanks, Miss Q.
I thought I'd come up with a theme. Oh, no, sorry, Rich. Wrong way. I thought I'd come up with a theme. We were talking about, you know, things that we want to shine a light. We definitely want to show you what's happening, but we want to be able to do it in a way that's proactive. You know, we know what the problems are. We've definitely identified what the problems are. My goodness, thank you. I don't know if I'm allowed to name you. Thanks so much. You know you are. Thank you. I don't even know what to say. Thanks. That's just caught me off guard. Goodness. You know, when people are just so thoughtful. I think I've definitely today has renewed my faith in humanity as well. And thank you so much. You know who you are, you're watching, so thank you. Wow, it's not very often I get made speechless, is it? So let me just compose myself. That's good. Right. Okay. I'm trying to compose myself. I'm getting a bit emotional. So there are things that we want to talk about today. There's a lot of things going on internationally that I think definitely should be shone a light on. However, we did say, sorry, I'm just clicking a few links there. We did say that one thing that we wanted to do today was be proactive. We know what the problems are. So we thought, let's not spend 2 hours talking about problems because we know what the problems are. If we're going to spend 2 hours talking, let's talk about solutions. Because as much as we'd like to, you know, wokely report on, because I actually do want to delve into a few rabbit holes, because there's a few rabbit holes that I'm into at the moment that are to do with the ongoing situation. And as far as rabbit holes go, they don't get much deeper than that. So, Rich, can I tell you what I well, actually, no, hold on. What order? How should we do it? I've got some information that I think is useful for everybody, and I think there's something that's come about today that, again, I was speaking about the other day about the old and infirm. So I've had the children's gran on the other side of the family on the phone today, a little bit out of sorts, God bless her. A few things have popped her out of sorts today. Rich, you were privy to that conversation. What's the word for it?
Yeah.
When someone's a bit spaced out because normality is not normal.
Out of sorts.
Out of
Out
sorts.
of sorts,
Really out of
man.
sorts. Yeah. And she's one of the ones that have been asked to self-isolate for 12 weeks. Yep, I'll say that again. 12 weeks. That's 1, 2, 12. 12 weeks, Rich. 12 weeks.
Yeah.
My dad, he's over 70. So that puts me in a little bit of a safe position as well. So at the moment, it's discretionary.
Everybody?
It's discretionary at the moment, I think.
But everybody over 70.
Word on the street is, word on the street is it's discretionary just now, but we're going to be giving an announcement on Thursday or Friday where we're going to be told the UK will be put in lockdown on Monday. So it looks like they're going to enforce it as of Monday. I'm hearing that from a few people. I obviously don't, I'm talking about people that have personally texted me today, not things I've seen online. Without giving too much away, I'll try and read one out. Shout out to you for sending me. Yeah, of course. Me and Rich saw that as well. Shout out. But government-backed loans were 33 billion. Do you remember when we heard that? 33, and we went, couldn't have been any other number.
Oh.
Could have been no other number.
No,
same person.
330 billion, man.
I'm just going to cover
still
the name.
33.
I really don't know if they want to
Still
be
33.
named. Hold on, I've got to try and find a way of doing it. Yeah, good. Good girl. Cover it with my bank card with all my details on it. You can tell I'm really woke in it, right? Right, okay.
Rox, come
here we go.
on,
Look,
Rox.
there's
It's
the
just the
message.
opposite way to if you're doing it. So,
Yeah, look, it says a lady. It's no one's name there. So someone at a later stage can pause that and read it back. But this is what I'm about to read out to you. Just heard from someone who I bump into on a regular basis. Their partner is a, don't want to say that, is a, you can read it if you pause it. I just don't want to make too much of a kerfuffle about it. One of his regulars works for a government contract company. And as that government organization have said that the country will be in lockdown. So what we're hearing now is internal B2B comms, business to business comms that are getting a little bit of the inside word first on what's to come, almost like a 3 or 4 day weather forecast that the general public aren't given. And yeah, people are leaking it out and they're saying, yeah, this is so. It will be in the announcement coming between Friday and Monday. So we may get the announcement on Friday, we may get the announcement on Saturday, but we will get that announcement before Monday. Don't know if anyone else has heard that as well. I don't want to spend the whole live stream, even though it's almost like you can't get away from it.
here we go. Here we go.
Here we go. What?
Just got this message sent to me.
Handle with care, bro.
First
Handle
person.
Go on.
Okay. This is just in the Canarian Weekly on Facebook today. First person dies in Tenerife after testing positive for coronavirus. An elderly woman has died after testing positive for coronavirus. The second person in the Canary Islands. She's been admitted to Candelaria Hospital, which is just up the road from me, in Santa Cruz, and was suffering from underlying health problems. They confirmed she was in isolation in the intensive care unit and that she died last night. The first person was in Gran Canaria last week, an 81-year-old, also with underlying health conditions. Spanish Prime Minister makes a groundbreaking. Oh no, this is right. This was an hour ago. There was a massive support has already been passed as law, and 200 billion euros is made available for economic assistance. Pedro Sanchez said in a speech today about the economic effort of the coronavirus outbreak that on this front we must stop a curve because its effects on employment and production. Today we are adopting a royal decree law, the largest in the history of our democracy, to create a social shield in our country. I would like to express my gratitude for the support of employers, trade unions and workers, and we must face the problems. The alert and the measures of the pandemic affect families, and we must fight on a health and economic front. We must defend our families. We must act with determination and in collaboration with all economic parties. Some of the autonomous communities' proposals have been included in the royal decree. Businesses will have access to 200 billion euros, about 20% of our GDP. 117 billion will come from the public funds and the rest from private funds. The public mobilization of resources in our history, the biggest mobilization of resources in our history. Here are the measures already adopted. 1. Measures to support families. 600 billion for healthcare, especially for the elderly. Guarantee of electric and water, telecommunications services, right to live, suspension of mortgage payments. No one will be evicted from their homes. Support for workers. Jobs must be protected. This is a temporary crisis. Employees can reduce their workload by 100% due to the effect of the virus. Telework from home as an alternative measure. Flexible work arrangements for the benefit of all workers. Everyone will receive unemployment benefits. For the self-employed, flexibility in the payment of social security donations. Support of business and enterprises. The state will create a credit line with a pot of 100 million euros. The state will be a guarantee for companies in the area of social security contributions, reform of the rules on foreign investment so that foreign companies do not take over Spanish companies at this stage. To support against the coronavirus, support for scientific research for the coronavirus vaccine. 30 million will be allocated to continue the research. I won't carry on. This is quite long. I'll send you the link, Rox, and you can pop it in Actually, I'll pop the link in the chat. I can't hear you, babe.
Sorry. Okay. Yeah, perfect. Perfect. I'm going to try and do something a bit novel this evening. Novel's not a good word to use at the moment, is it? Oh dear. I'm going to try and add myself to the chat from my mobile. So I've got a mobile camera instead of moving my actual webcam, because it's not really very mobile, that camera up there. I did something I don't normally do today because, again, I keep telling you all, okay, I take my kids to school and pick them up every day, and I'm going to talk about some of the decisions I've made privately, because it's just because of where I live. I've made some decisions privately, but one of those decisions I made privately was that I was going to embark on purchasing something today that I don't normally purchase, because I just wanted to see what was going on. I just wanted to see what was causing the hysteria with the group of mums I was speaking to. And I couldn't quite work it out, because I look at the news and I kind of see what they're saying. Sorry, just getting a load of feedback from your mic there. Double. Sorry, guys, you just have to bear with me a second here. Why it won't let me do? It won't let me control things. Sorry. What? Yeah, unmute. Can you unmute? It won't let me. Is that all right? Perfect. Hello, my darling. You all right, sweetheart?
Yes. Could you just tell me how my mic is sounding, because I was having quite a few problems before we started.
No, it's perfect. In fact, maybe just turn it up a tiny touch.
A bit louder.
But
all right.
yeah, a tiny bit louder.
I was just telling.
Perfect. I was just telling everyone I'd done something. I think it's a bit silly what I've done, but I did it nevertheless, because I thought, why
Is
not?
this your Green Fingers venture?
Well, no, that was my next adventure today. But the first endeavor I did was I did that.
Oh, you want to pick up all the front pages?
Yeah. I went and picked up the Sun, the Daily
like
Mirror.
An actual newsroom. Like an actual newsroom.
Well, I thought, you know what? I don't really know what they're up to, because I'm in a chat of mums who at 7 o'clock this morning started to have canaries, literally canaries. So they saw something I didn't, and I turned on Sky News and I went, not much there. BBC, British Brainwashing Corporation, still up to their usual BS. Nothing really that was causing me to go, that's justifiable. So then I went, okay, took my own decision this morning, which I'll get into at another stage, and went to the shop and went, right, I'll have one of them, and I'll have one of them, and one of them. And what I saw went, oh, right, now I know why you're going nuts. So we have an online community here. There's a lot of online content makers. There's a lot of Instagram. There's a lot of Facebook, but nothing pairs in comparison to the fearmongery that's going out on these. Yeah. As soon as I saw Macaulay Culkin on one of them screaming that he's home alone, I went, what kind of madness? I will show you on my other camera, but that's what we're looking at. Okay. And no wonder no one's on the street, guys, because they've told the public.
Wow.
And
hey,
just in case
quickly,
of, yeah, go
it's
for
Paddy's Day today, right?
On the 17th, I think it is.
Yeah, it's Paddy's Day today. Yeah, okay. Yeah, I didn't realize until about an hour ago. Wow.
And then the Daily Mail, and I thought, well, I'll go for the Daily Mail because my parents used to read that. So I thought that's the one that most people take seriously, not seriously, if you know what I mean. Unlike the Daily Star, do you know what I mean? So I went, right. So what are they saying? Hopefully they'll say something a little bit more compass mentis, but no. Right. So jobs are good, and then it's a wrap. No wonder the streets are empty. They've done it. They've caused the mass hysteria. They've told millions to stay at home. They've told absolutely hundreds of thousands that without isolation, the corona could kill up to 250,000 people. So there's a scare tactic that's necessary. I see it because it's worked. 30 odd mums in a chat, all not knowing, whether it's New York or New Year.
I don't know what the death toll is for the UK each year, but I mean, 250,000 people, is that not less than the flu still?
I think either way.
On a normal year with a normal flu.
Either way, they're going to cook up the numbers, aren't they?
Mm-hmm.
whether it's flu, whether it's influenza, whether it's pneumonia. If we're going to get numbers to compare it to, then, as I said, I think, oh, crikey, bro, why are you there? Why are you not there? Where did you go?
My my tablet died.
Oh, right. Well, that explains it then.
What was I going to say?
No, I'm thinking the same. But with this, obviously, I do not do this. This is not what I do. But this is like full. It's a good hefty amount of paperwork here. And see if you think the front pages are bad. Yeah. What they're the narrative they're trying to put out there is definitely why the shelves are empty. It's definitely why the streets are empty, because it's worked. It's worked all over the place. It's disgusting behavior I've seen from people on the streets today. Absolutely disgusting behavior. I've had friends of mine phone me upset, confused. As I said, I've had grandparent phoning me a bit bewildered. Share your thoughts in the chat room as well. Obviously, we know what the problem is. I'm talking about solutions. If everyone's got, tips, solutions of how to handle what's going on right now, I think we could all use a bit of sharing and caring, because it seems to be ongoing. Go for it.
I wonder if anyone from the north would come on and in the north of the UK, and because I'm curious, because I always got this very uncomfortable feeling whenever I lived down south that it was not a place I would want to be in a crisis, because I always had this feeling like everyone would hurt a stranger for their own benefit, which I always felt was a very much more southern thing than a northern thing. But this isn't like a northern person versus a southern person thing, but it's that in the north, how you're perceived, you're not as anonymous in the north is what I think I'm trying to say.
I hear that.
Because when you are anonymous, you can treat people like crap and it doesn't matter. And in a scenario like this where you're like, well, I'm not even going to bother about what people think about me because I want to get the paracetamol, or I want to get the 10 packs of toilet roll or whatever else.
No, you're absolutely right. I'll see what I can do. I've sent out a link to Adam Meakin as well, because I wanted his little expert opinion. He's up near Nottingham.
He's a part of GloBusters, isn't he? I didn't realise that until today. I saw him mentioning GloBusters.
He does bits and pieces all over the place. Adam's everywhere, actually. No, like you could literally look 360 degrees and find something that Adam's been involved in. He's all over the place. He's prolific. I do believe we've got a few Northerners in the chat room tonight. If any of you are in the chat room and you know me on social media, whether it's Instagram, if you've got me on your Skype, even if you've got me on your WhatsApp, if you want to come on, give me a shout, and I'll let you know how to get on. I can either send you a StreamYard link, or you can just come in straight on my mobile. So if you do know me on social media, get in touch with me, either Skype, Instagram direct messenger, or WhatsApp, or Facebook Messenger as well. If you're on my Facebook, if you've got me on Messenger, then just message me. If you're in the north, in fact, wherever you are on this international plane, we'd love to hear from you. Even if you just want to come in on an audio call, a bit like a phone call, and put your 2 cents worth in, I'm happy to take social media calls. So you can call me as a phone call on Instagram, or you can call me as a phone call on WhatsApp or Messenger, or Skype. So even if you've got your 2 cents worth about anything that's coming up tonight, I'm happy to chime you into the conversation. Adam, if you're watching, I've sent you a link. And we do actually have 2 Northerners called Rantony. I'm not sure I'd get them on together right now. That might not be a good idea, but one at a time. They are both Northerners. Anthony's from Liverpool.
We did our best the other night, didn't we? To sort of moderate a little bit.
Yes. Shout out to the chat room: Amanda Panda, That Flat Fellow, Valley Parks, Zepso, Kieran, 5 Artists, Vertic, Dividante, Riddle Me This. Oh, good. Scotland's fine.
Oh,
Thanks for asking. Love that.
Can I just can I just shout out someone? Someone's come into my chat who I haven't spoken to for a really long time, and he's actually, we've spoken about him before, and he doesn't know this, and you don't know this. You don't know that this is the guy. This is the guy that tried to wake me up, and I locked him off. Like I just read.
Is this a bit of a confession, Rich? Is this a half confession?
Lost his mind. Well, I've told you about that. How I woke up, about how the fact that and then in 2013 when I was like, oh my God, and I messaged him, And we started speaking again. I was like, man, I thought you got nuts,
Wow.
but Jesus. And he was like, yeah. And he'd been on it for a time, but it's Tree Poet. I won't give his real name. I'm not going to dox him. Tree Poet,
Oh, I
man. And
love it
Tree
when it
Poet
comes
is a
on full around.
musician. Tree Poet is a musician. He's a really good musician. He's a really good singer. He's just like me. He's like another version of me. And the thing is, the funny thing is that it turns out that we might actually be cousins, because his auntie or great auntie or something, I don't know. But yeah, so what's that face?
Full circle.
Is that you're bored? Are you bored? I'm not gonna swear. Anyway, it's good to see you, man. Really good to see you. Can't believe it.
Man's like,
Can't believe you're here.
oh, that's
Yeah,
big. Shout out to
shut
Tree
up.
Poet. Big love to you. Shout out to Stacey B as well. Shout out to M Sutherland. Shout out to Paul Barbacano. I don't want to muller anyone's name. Thank you so much for tuning in. Sunset Lights 100. Did I get that right? Paul Barbacano. Yeah, Paul Barbacano. I'm hoping I said it right. Eric Dulian.
Barbacano.
But why am I feeling like I can't talk? Really?
Do you know, I had that last night when I was talking. Did you not notice I was stumbling a couple of times?
I feel like I can't speak properly. Ian Adams, lovely to see you. Adam Meakin, you can't find the link. Well. We'll just have to sort that right now, won't we?
Whoa, we've got our panel of experts, haven't we? Well, we've got our expert.
Oh, Adam, they're on it, you know. I've WhatsApped you the link, Adam, and it's got one grey tick. So I'm going to go onto Skype and I'm going to message you on Skype, Adam, and send you the link. I'm so sorry about that. Look, see, can I show you? My phone says no service on it. Can you see those? No service in the corner. Oh, now it's back to GIF-GAF. Now I tried to show you, it went GIF-GAF. It's all right, actually. There's service. There's GIF-GAF, really. My phone's probably going to spaz out now. Right, Adam, I'm going to send you the link, my darling. That's incoming right now. Just going to paste that into there and hit that link whenever you're ready, my darling. Adam's from up north, and I was giving everyone a little shout out in the chat room, and I honestly cannot thank you all enough for joining us. We're going to try and bring you up to date with everything that's internationally going on. We're also going to come with some proactive solutions for you to maneuver through the next few days and weeks and try and keep everyone as happy and as content as possible. I think my mum used to use a saying called fix, make, mend and do. And I think if we can have that kind of mentality within the community, within our loved ones, within our neighbours, I think that is a step in the right direction. Another big thing that we wanted to shine a light on this evening was to love thy neighbour. For me, for me, I personally have, hello, my darling. I personally have had conversations with people on my street that I've never spoken to before. I've done a little bit of door canvassing today. I've knocked on some doors. I've let people know my name. I've let people know what number I live at. I've alerted the elders that I'm there if they need me. Haven't done anything official because I'm not really sure how to get started with doing something officially and trying to get some kind of community network going. There's some other bits I'm going to get into this evening about something I've also been prompted by an awesome subscriber who made a comment in my comment section. I was like, genius, that's awesome. So there's some proactive bits I want to get into later on. Adam, I was able to get myself a few boxes of paracetamol and ibuprofen today from Poundland. Was that a good idea? Should I have bothered, or should I be staying away from pills like that?
Oh,
that's all I could get. I'm just letting you know all I could get. I'll show you them. They look rubbish, but they were all I could get, and I could get 3 boxes for £1. And I went, you're gonna sell me 3 boxes of ibuprofen for £1. Should I be buying them at that price? But while you talk, I'm gonna go and get them. I can hear you. Carry on talking, my darling.
Yeah, this is something that's sickened me today. I've only just got off the phone business planning on exactly that point. I've been contacted by a number of people today demonstrating me what the large corporate multiples are doing with regards to this. So it appears on a lot of the stuff, all of the pound shops, the cheap, nobody is profiteering. Yet, like I say, the corporates appear to be ramping stuff up through the roof. I've been selling 500 mils of hand gel that I managed to get hold of today.
That's
At £10, Roxanne, for 500 mils.
God.
I'm being told, my wife went into a shop and paid
Those ones.
£3 for 50 mils. All I'm trying to do is kind of sell this stuff on at the standard markup my business has always applied. But that's not what I'm seeing is going off there. I managed to get 150 bottles of hand gel today, and I'm limiting and I'm rationing them to individuals. I sold 30 to the mosque. He put up a good case, the bloke from the mosque. So I sold him a load, but it's really weird. But what's concerning me is, as you've raised, is the antipyretic prices, the temperature controlling drugs. Sorry.
Yes. Paracetamol.
Yeah. So
I can't get paracetamol for love nor money. Can't get it. Ibuprofen's all I can get.
And that's my concern.
Yeah.
And maybe we can address that later.
Cool.
Because that's something in terms of how we treat this and what we treat with, and how we need to be very careful with the available medications. Let's just stay with this.
Yeah.
Okay, so ibuprofen is a very useful drug. It is not something I would recommend everybody to take. It has a number of interactions, and if we're talking these vulnerable groups, it affects renal function, put simply, renal filtration rate, and will have knock-on effects of the drug. So you need to be careful based on what you're on, and if you're in these vulnerable groups. Now, secondarily, it's agitative to the stomach, a bit like aspirin. And that's, if you getting I'm not trying to fearmonger, but what I don't want to see is people falling to ibuprofen. If I've got any thing, it would be to use your first line fever treatment as paracetamol, most importantly for your kids, and then also for yourself.
I've got no paracetamol in my house, so I'm already in that problem. All I can get is ibuprofen. So what does a mum like me do when I'm going everywhere and I can't get it already?
So what's important is you temperature monitor. Let's not dose preventatively. There's no benefit there. Just make sure we're dosing. If we need to use ibuprofen for fever control because that's all that's there, then let's use it sensibly and give doses when we see temperatures rising. Ibuprofen, like I say, is very agitative. You'll see, certainly prescription wise, it's stopped being used for a couple of years now, and it's been substituted by naproxen, which is significantly less GI irritant, less it strips your stomach of its lining less, which is the trouble. What we have here, I'll put it simply, is what's called a prostaglandin inhibitor, and they're fantastic in mediating pain and inflammation. But also these prostaglandins, as a lot of biological systems, regulate other things, and one of the things they regulate is the mucus production of your stomach, which is important because it protects your stomach from the hardcore acid it's producing and stops it eating itself. If you decline this, then over long periods it can cause problems. So that's one of the issues, and why its long-term use is being certainly phased out in prescription wise, but obviously you still see it there for when required dosing over the counter. And that's what, for me, if you're going to use ibuprofen, take temperatures and dose appropriately would be the advice I'd give if you're looking at long-term. Couple of days, don't panic. If you're starting to, and people are going to do this, and this is why I'm saying it, if you're looking at just giving kids stuff because they've got a sniffle and the likes, and we're shoving this stuff down the throats, just please remember what it won't cure sniffles, it won't stop a nose running, it won't stop your chesty cough. What it will do is stop aches, pains, and reduce fever. And so the important thing for using it is to reduce fever.
Okay. Okay. As I said, I think this is really helpful and usable information. Go on now.
And you said only to take if fever increases after the last time you took it.
Yeah, if you've not got a fever increase and your temperatures are sitting at normal levels or just slightly elevated, but they're not getting to 39 pluses, then for me, monitor and dose dependent on that, not just on the time slots that it says on the side of the box.
Yes. Yes.
Okay, now, if you've got the paracetamol, you're fine as long as you stick within the time slots there. The only real issue is you don't overdose on paracetamol. Your body can cope with it otherwise. There's a hormone, it's called glutathione that your liver. That's why you're here with overdose. If you've got too much, your body can't cope with it, and that's when it does damage. But as long as you're dosing within those guidelines, then you're absolutely safe for continued use with no real concerns whatsoever. In a week or so, it's worth of use to just keep dosing within the 4 times a day, sort of 6 hours apart for paracetamol. And as long as that dose is correct for the age, then you're absolutely fine there. If you're that worried in terms of raging fever. Now, one last bit is there are points, and my son was one of them, where we need to co-combine these drugs. So at certain points, particularly in the young, you're susceptible to things called febrile convulsions.
Right.
And this is where the temperature gets so high that they end up having a little seizure. It's very worrying. Now, this is when they're getting 39 pluses and up to the 40s. And if you're finding that paracetamol is not sufficient to even control that at the maximum 4 times a day dosing, that's when you can also add in ibuprofen to bring it down. But that would be when you are seeing elevated temperatures where the paracetamol isn't even stopping the peaks.
Yes.
I know I'd be bleeding if I took that much. I am really sensitive to stuff. My stomach always bleeds when I take.
Well, then ibuprofen is not for you. You first line.
I don't touch anything.
Yeah,
Anything.
Excuse me a sec.
Right.
I'm a towel in the fridge guy around the forehead or Marley gets a temperature. Well, I'll let her have Calpol
And
if I can find the one with sugar in it,
yeah,
because I don't let her have sugar-free stuff.
I think if you can use turmeric and honey and garlic and lemon, if you can try and use anything natural before you even go to, I think I'm of that ilk as well. I really would tend to stay away. My ethos, which is why I'm really, really glad I've got Adam here, because I didn't really know my ass from my elbow, if I'm being honest with you. I went to the shop today. Now, bear in mind, there
must have made 30 daily rituals fairly difficult.
There isn't a pharmacy within a walking distance of me. It's like a drive or a bus ride. And I thought to myself, right, there are people on my street that cannot go and get stuff. And obviously they were limiting purchases. So I thought to myself, I will go and get like at least, and these, obviously I don't really take painkillers too tough. I would keep a box for myself, but I would have gone and given that to my next door neighbours there. I'd have gone and given that, and I wouldn't really know if I was doing the right thing or not, which is why I stacked them and didn't give them out yet. I thought I need to speak to Adam before I start going and giving people drugs. Do you know what I mean?
But before we start doing that, I'll address the legal implications of that.
Yeah, that's why I wouldn't do it before speaking to you, because I thought there probably isn't. It's probably not just as simple as going and giving people drugs. Do you know what I mean? You probably have to be qualified to do that, like you, Adam. Do you know? So yeah, please, for anyone that's thinking about doing this, because I thought it was a simple thought, isn't it? Your average person would think, let me go and help my community, but that might not be helping, Adam, right?
Okay. Yeah. So there's, first of all, if in doubt, ring your local pharmacy. Okay. And if you're with the person that you're trying to help, they should at least know the medication they're on. Ring your local pharmacy and we will then advise you accordingly based on that individual. All the pharmacies are prepared for this. We're under great strain, so you might have to ring. Keep waiting.
But you see, in my case, what if they've asked? You see, my neighbours said, get me paracetamol, ibuprofen, anything you can get me. So I've got ibuprofen, but I still feel hesitant to give it.
We're out there. We're a source of information, and that's what we're out there for. So, yeah, if you're feeling like that and you feel the need to ring us first and check with us, and we will give you the correct advice, okay? And that will also include forwarding you on to other services
Yes.
if what you're talking to us about is actually we deem that you need additional help. So
Yeah.
don't be afraid. Pharmacies are frontline. We're there for you, okay? But be patient with us. Hopefully you can understand the strain we're under.
Of course, yeah.
And please be polite with us. We're trying our best, and
Be
we
kind.
won't let anybody down. But the attitude differences are very varied, and yeah.
So in actual fact, the moral to this lesson is doing something like that, even though you think you might be doing something that's helpful, unless you know the correct protocols, giving people drugs without knowing, even if they say, yeah, we can take this, we can take that. And I really, because, that can be an easy mistake to make for someone that thinks that they're doing the right thing. And I think to get the best advice moving forward, that was it. So first port of call, pharmacy, first and foremost. Yeah.
Yeah. If you're helping people out, and I think this is a fantastic thing. And Rox, I've just sent you something in WhatsApp. Now these are little credit card size things that my wife's printed off for our street and a lot of the surrounding neighbours. And you fill your details in and you pop it through those that you think's vulnerable, their door, and there's a point of contact for these sorts of things. Now most people can take paracetamol perfectly safe. The only reason they can't is if they've got liver problems, or the biggest issue would be a lot of people don't realise sometimes with the pain medication they're taking that it contains paracetamol, and I said the only risk is it really is stepping into overdose with its use. So I said just check. It's 2 minutes of our time, and we're happy to do it. And it's a great phone call to receive, to hear that there's somebody else out there caring for these people. That, remember, a lot of us, and I'll come on to what we're trying to do community wise, I think I want to kind of stick a little plea out here at the moment for any business owners, people that own corner shops. Our communities are scared.
Yes.
Okay. And whatever we think about the rights, wrongs, realities of this, it really doesn't matter. The old lady who's 83 is scared. And this is a great time for us as a community to come together. Like I said, there's those cards that maybe you'll share and stick somewhere that they're easy to print off, that you can just pop through people's doors. But also to business owners, I'm in the middle at the moment. I've got a pharmacy that hopefully is about to reopen thanks to the local MP as we try and deal with this, but it's actually in a little supermarket, a little spa store. So what I've been chatting with them is for next week with the lockdown is for all our pensioners to have these numbers available so that they can ring for both health advice, but also most importantly to just get some essential supplies, because I'm sure those that are raiding the shelves now will be absolutely fine, but the old folks and those that are the most vulnerable, that are the ones that are being told to lock themselves away, they're the ones that need to be shown a bit of love right now. And for me, that's where I'm kind of focusing my efforts, not only from medicinal side, but ensuring that there's a bit like what I said to you yesterday, that they've got the knowledge that there's somebody to call, because who is there to call to say, can you help me? I can't eat. There isn't. And this is where we've got to show.
Community section now. So if you want to have a look at what Adam's talking about, I've just posted the image right on my community section right now. And I will try and post a PDF link for that, so you can print that out if you're the type of person that's in the position that you can pick up shopping, answer a friendly phone call, post mail, urgent supplies. There's a PDF that you can download and print that gives your name, tells your neighbours where you live, gives them a number. And yeah, I think that's a great idea. Absolutely brilliant idea. Wonderful. I'm going to do it myself. I'm going to print that off and do that. That's, you know what? That's perfect. Absolutely brilliant. What a wonderful idea. Who started that initiative? That's excellent.
Whoever started it, my wife said, I think it's via Facebook, Rocks. There'll be links out there. But I said, I've come down to the house tonight. I said, what are these? And she says, well, they're just for, the neighbours just to pop in and a couple of the, so yeah, I think it's
show you guys on my screen right now. Let me know if some of you are familiar with this already. Show it there. Oh, it would help if I made it a little bit bigger, eh? Sorry guys, just give me a second. Okay. Nice, simple little thingy-majig there. Sorry, I need to get my headphones back in. Whoops. Is everyone there? Sorry. Did everyone see?
Yeah.
Hello? Hi?
Yeah.
Hello.
Hi. Is everyone there?
Yeah.
Yes.
Sorry, yeah, I don't know. I think my internet just went a bit ski-whiff. I don't know if they wanted me to show that image, Adam.
We were just, all I could see was Adam's.
That's cool. All of your screens just started going round, and I was like, oh, really? Is my internet gone? Great.
I've been having that a lot the last few nights whenever I've spoken, actually.
Let me know if everyone in the chat room can still see us, because it's not saying that I'm live anymore. So I don't know. Am I still live? I'll be live. That's like my joke of the week, that, isn't it? If you can still...
Yeah, it says on mine that we're live, babe. It says on mine that we're live.
My computer's telling me I'm not. So am I here? Am I here? Cool. Adam, that's a brilliant initiative. And as I said, anyone who's in a position to do that for their community, I think this is the time when people are going to learn to love thy neighbour, because I've seen people already coming up against issues where family members of theirs are not even in the country. They were due to come back. Yeah, we can hear that. Yeah, no problem.
Yeah, sorry.
People have got family members, but they're in other countries and now they can't get to them, and they're sitting ducks, basically. So I think even for someone like me, even if I had a lot of family that could support me, I doubt they'd get to me now, or I can get to them. So the only family I've got are the people that are on my street and the people that are going to be in my local community. So I better get to know them. I've only just moved here, so it's a bit of a new one for me. Were you going to say something there, darling? I don't know.
I've got it on share screen for you. The proper picture, Rock, so you should be able to share it properly, mate.
Thank you, my darling. Yeah. Oh, perfect. Lovely. So yeah, it says here, hello, if you're self-isolating, I can help. My name is such and such. I live locally at. My phone number is. If you're self-isolating due to this malarkey, I can help you with picking up shopping, make a call, posting mail, urgent supplies. Yes, wash your hands regularly, and items should be left on your doorstep, because these people are vulnerable, the elderly, aren't they, Adam, to whatever this malarkey is. I'm going to keep saying malarkey because it is.
Yeah, it's not time to hug a granny. It's time to let these people know you're there and place
Love them from afar, but close.
Okay, so a good example is my neighbour around the corner. She rang me today. I've only just phoned her this evening, catching up. I said, yeah, I've got your prescription. Don't worry, I'll pop it up. She says, no, we're on lockdown. One of the kids seems to have it. So so I've said, right, that's fine. She says, just put the stuff there and ring the door. I said, I'm not touching your dirty doorbell.
Adam, can I ask, has someone got something playing in the background? I can hear something playing in the background, and I'm getting messages saying someone can hear something in the... No,
I think that was me.
No worries, darling. That's okay. That's all good. Carry on, Adam, darling.
Yeah. So it's just I say, no, what I'll do is I'll go there, I'll put the stuff on your doorstep and I'll ring you. And then when I see you come to the door, I'll be at the bottom of your drive. And I think whilst it sounds a little excessive, what we need to do right now is deal with what's been generated, the real virus, which is the fear porn virus. For me, this is a really, really great thing. That's why I just wanted to share it, because I'd not heard of it until I got in, and actually not only showing a bit of love, but actually addressing it like this, with addressing the fear and behaving in a way. So you're not going up and going, give it all, granny, here you go, here's your shopping. Yeah, you're actually being respectful and dealing with, because to try and dispel the fear is a futile thing at this moment. It's just, to me, it's just about showing love, dealing with it, and then us all coming out the other side and seeing what consequences the love we showed could generate. And like I said, I grew up on a council estate, Rock, so everybody knows everybody. I work on a council estate, so everybody knows everybody. And I live now in a middle-class suburbia. I don't know anyone apart from the people I share a drive with, you know. And wow, what impact if actually we did reach out to people and say, I don't know who you are, but I do care about you. If you need my help, I'm here. What's that going to leave in a month's time if we do this?
Say that last bit again. What's this gonna what? Sorry.
Leave. What impact will this really? That to me is the thing.
Yeah.
Say everything's an opportunity spiritually. You know, to me, you're never given more than you can handle with, but you're given that opportunity to shine, and this is one of those for me. I don't have to agree with any of it. I just got to go out there and show love and try my best to help people through this time. And when we come out the other side, it'll be what it is, and the truth will be told. Don't matter. Now's the time to help those that maybe aren't as woke as us, that are completely wrapped in this fear porn. And maybe now's the time just to not try and preach to them, but just to show love.
I've got a question for you in the chat room, Adam. DJ Obsession says, Adam, I'm having trouble getting repeat prescription for my heart meds. Can you suggest what I can do, please?
Yeah, this is a fear I raised with the NHS yesterday. What appears to be happening is the doctor's surgeries seem to be, in a lot of cases, first port of call is to obfuscate their duties and say, just go to the pharmacy for an emergency supply. Now, I've always supported my patients with that and given them a month's worth, but the number of demands, if I was to do so this month, I would be giving out probably 30, 40,000 pounds worth out of one pharmacy of drugs that I've not got prescriptions for. I can do it legally, but a month later, my business will be bankrupt. And what I've been stuck with today is kind of asking patients to please go back to the surgery, ask them to just produce the piece of paper or send the electronic submission to allow me to survive and carry on doing it. It's very frustrating that your surgery is obfuscating their obligation to you, and it's a point that's being raised. I'm yet to see it being dealt with. All I would say to you is don't be frustrated at the pharmacist. What you may have to do is pay for 5 days supply, which in most cases will be 10, 15 quid, which is not great, but we've got to survive and we will help you. But I know it's only 10 or 15 quid, but when you do that 1,000 times, that's quite a lot of money that we're trying to make sure we survive. And I'd just ask people to go back to their GPs and ask them to realise the situation and that they need to go to lockdown, and that's coming, and that these are extraordinary measures. And whilst they do normally require 2 full days to press print, is it possible that they could possibly do it in a couple of hours? Now, whilst the initial response is always no, I think if you're polite but persuasive, all I've noticed is these prescriptions arriving, and I've been managing to make the supplies to the people. It's required an hour or two of their time. And previously I've always helped people to do, and it'd be some of the shop's time. But at this point of stress, I can't physically look after people like my normal standards. Say, just leave it with me. We're asking as the pharmacy, if you need to access these, that you've got to kind of pester the surgery. If then it's a problem, I would suggest ringing your NHS complaints line, because they are negligent in their duties. These are exceptional circumstances, and we're all supposed to be pulling together on the front line. We appreciate as pharmacists that the doctor's surgeries have closed their doors, and that requires us to be having to field a lot of the queries they would do first, and that's why we're asking them and struggling a little bit to put the bloody ideas up, if I'm being honest. All I would say, mate, if you're that desperate, then go to the pharmacist and say, I appreciate the circumstances. Are you able to make me an emergency supply for 5 days, of which this is at the patient's request, and I'm happy to pay for the drug costs. And in most cases, if you present that, that's a legal thing that the pharmacist can provide you, as long as they've got. And I would suggest going to your regular pharmacy. Rocking up at some chemist you've never heard of is going to require a hell of a lot of time and efforts to validate these prescriptions. But your current chemist, where you got your last prescription, has a patient medication record, and so there's no reason for them not, in these exceptional circumstances, if you're prepared to pay, for them to supply you. They are perfectly empowered under the Medicines Act to do so.
Wow. I honestly can't thank you enough, Adam. I feel like that's the best advice that we can get at the moment for a situation like that. And, you know, heart medication isn't, you know, plasters for a graze, if you know what I mean. Heart medication, you know. I'm hoping that's helped you. Let us know in the chat room if that's helped you. Adam, I honestly can't thank you enough. I've got another question for you, Adam, if that's okay.
And mate, keep them firing. If these are of
Yeah.
any value to people, I'm more than happy.
Brilliant.
I might have to drop off because you keep hearing my phone is.
I can imagine you're in high demand, Adam. I really can, and I can't thank you enough. I've got a question from Eric De Leon, who said, "Can you tell us what treatment is being given to people that have it there, that have it in the UK? Are you being told what treatment people can expect to undergo if they've contracted this?"
Yeah, I mean, like I said, for most people, you're being asked to self-isolate, so to reduce the risk of you spreading it. Now, in most cases, for healthy people, adults, adolescents, even, you know, youngish kids, not babies, neonates, etc. But the treatment is exactly what we were describing. It's to control the fever and any discomfort. The interesting thing about this, obviously, is it's a very low symptomatic viral cold. It's the end where you become very chesty after you think you've recovered, that the risk in terms of the vulnerable groups is the point of concern. But with regards to the majority, it's about self-isolation, making sure you do minimize your chance of spreading it, and treating yourself symptomatically and getting through it like any other cold, because that's what it is. And that is pretty much it. If you're talking about what happens if you are compromised from a available oxygen point of view, in terms of, you know, your lung function and your ability to, when you're breathing in, actually absorb oxygen because of the fluid retention, then that's where the NHS is concerned, and this is why they're trying to keep these cases to a minimum. There's a good one coming, so hopefully that addresses it. John Boy, yeah, this is, I don't know right now. What I will say is it's interesting, isn't it, that for some reason a certain section of society will be subjected to increased exposure rates. They will be not able to self-isolate and subject to different conditions of others with regards to attendance for daily supervised prescriptions. And I think, well, just to put this into context, this is methadone or things like Subutex, so addiction prescription treatment, where the daily dose of medication is administered, in most cases supervised, administered by us for the patient. They come in, we have a chat and a giggle. They're my best customers, you know, they're the people you see every single day, and you know, I try to do a lot of stuff. The amount of, you know, the biggest trouble with it, I'm stop rambling on that, but anyway. But yeah,
it's nice to hear that aspect of it, Adam. It is nice to hear that, because that's the human aspect of this. We are humans at the end of the day, and like you said, we need each other more now than we've ever needed each other before, and a lot of us can't even see the wave yet, you know. And I really feel like we should heed the warning from our brothers and sisters internationally that have already been consumed by this wave. To take it a little bit more seriously, and to pay attention a little bit more to what's going on in their community, like you're saying, you know. Just
to finally address John, I don't know. I deal with the addiction clinics closely, obviously with regards to my patients. We're yet to see. All I would say to your patient, you know, anyone, is speak to the pharmacist. As soon as we do know anything, we will tell you. But actually, it's a really good point with everything that's going off. If you are picking up your prescription tomorrow for your supervised, have a word with your pharmacist, raise it with them, because, you know, we're dealing with a million things. It's not something I've thought about, John, to be honest. But as you do raise it, It's not something for me to directly deal with, but it is something that I would have expected, and I haven't received correspondence from the addiction units, because you would expect them to be mitigating and self-isolating as well in terms of the prescription production. So I'll deal with that tomorrow, and maybe when I've had a chat, I'll re-raise it tomorrow, Rox. Bring it up, because I'll try and deal with it and give one of the units a ring and see how they are, planning, contingency planning for this. But it is a really good point, and John, I'll try and have an answer for you tomorrow, mate.
Oh, lovely. Eric says, told me all I need to know, Adam. This is a joke. All it is a cold. It's absolutely beyond crazy. But yeah, thank you. We really appreciate you giving us your answers on that, because for a lot of us, we're just doing all we know to do. And even at that, as I said, even my efforts today, and I'm sure I'm not on my own with that, by the way. I know a lot of other people that are quite like that and would want to care for their older community in their local area. And it just goes to show that even something that you think you're doing that's meaningful and caring can in some way be very detrimental to that person. And, so it's just about being aware. And I think the more awareness that we can share of what is helpful to do, is the best thing forward. So Adam, I can't thank you enough for that. And thank you to everyone in the chat room putting their questions in. Got Tomashino says, what if they force on is vaccines? Will you take it?
Not a fucking chance.
Okay, nice. Me neither.
Okay, so just my perspective on this. Pharmacists, the restructuring of the pharmacy contract, part of it was the way in which we receive what's called a practice payment. And that was taken away from just broad structure, and it required you to do certain functions of which you received individual payments. One of those is the flu vaccine. I've said goodbye to that money. As you heard me talk about, I've worked hard with the flu teams to actually be frontline and deliverance of antiretrovirals. I see no, and I've said this at NHS level, I see no validation for me in the costs, the negative impacts of a mass vaccination program for a virus that may or may not be the emergent strain. I think our money would be much better invested in the programs that I've tried to provide with, which is the emergency deliverance of antiretrovirals. And I think it's something that there's stuff that came out of the Wuhan University that was showing that ritonavir, and also in a very odd case, chloroquine, which is quinine, which is the thing that stopped malaria, also appeared to be quite effective in diminishment of the symptomatic rate, and maybe not as effective as their antiretrovirals. So for me, it's not about the way you don't deal with, for me, is to guess you're going to get the right strain and hope you immunize everybody and create mass immunization. The way in which, if we have a biological war going off, is to be prepared to treat those that are at risk, and when they're exposed to that risk, in a rapid way. A bit like when you have a house fire. You don't try and spray stuff with foam and try and live in foam. You send a fire engine around when it's burning and try and stop the damage as quick as you can. You don't spray everybody in foam so they can't burn or move or impeded in to me, can they force you to be vaccinated? It's one of the biggest concerns, Vertec, that I'm seeing across Europe, that there appears to be a vaccine. I don't know. I think that's one of these things that when we get the other side, but all I can say to you is, no, I won't be accepting any vaccine. I won't be administering any. With the, the information I've been presented, it's nonsensical and concerning, is what I would say.
There's a lot of people concurring with that. I totally agree. I'm against vaccinations, and I definitely think there's an agenda for them being pushed. I've never been comfortable with them. I've not vaccinated myself. My children aren't vaccinated, so I will definitely not be partaking in any kind of vaccination malarkey. And I'm quite interested to know as well if it's something that they would push on a legal flex. Noel, I've got someone specifically asking me to actually get to you and ask you something. I'm trying to get back to Eric. I did see your question, Eric. I just wish I could find it again now. This is great. Eric wants to know, can you let us know how things are with you in Malta regarding all of that, the legalities around vaccinations and bits? I mean, do they enforce them over there? How has that been with your daughter?
So I didn't fight it like I wanted to, but let's just say the vaccinations, and this is nothing new. This is what's currently in place. If you don't put your kid in school, they will take your kid from you, but you can't put your kid in school until they've been vaccinated. So it's sort of, they force you to get vaccinated without having a law that says you have to get vaccinated. It's you can't school them. It's a double. You can't school them without the vaccination, and you have to school them. So
wow,
it's a bit
that's
tricky.
the same here.
Really?
That's the same here in Tenerife, and the Canary Islands. It's not mandatory to get the vaccination, but you can't school your kid unless they've got vaccination, and it's illegal not to school your kid.
Crikey.
So it's a catch-22, isn't it?
It is. It is. So that seems to be the general vibe of that over there. So thanks for that. And Eric, I hope that answered your question.
So Denmark apparently have passed, and I have to double check this, perhaps actually, so that we've got an audience full of people. Denmark has apparently passed an emergency law for forced vaccination.
Really? What to do with this virus?
Well, I assume to do with this because of the dating, but I didn't know there was a vaccine for this. So
I don't know.
No, well, I actually read.
Sorry,
I read that in the Spanish Prime Minister Sanchez said they're putting 30 billion aside for research into the vaccine. So it can't be, because I said originally, I said I think
on the cusp of it.
Well, my personal conspiratorial mind thinks that maybe they already had the vaccine ready. They wouldn't have released it.
I figure all of this is pre-vaccine sales tactic. It's like make sure that we have as many customers as possible.
Yeah, that's what I felt.
Yeah. Thank you again for that question as well. That kind of answered that. To the Astral Thief, thank you for your input in the chat room. Steve Bally, Malin V, Kieran Franey, No One's Flower, Charlotte and Paul, Flatastic, Miss Chime. And further up the list, hold on, why is it not working? Oh, my computer's really not liking me today. Vertec, Jane of Torquay, Jesse Enns, Martin Ellen, Asa is in the chat room. Lovely to see you all. Dividante, Riddle Me This is still there. DJ Obsession, Dave Mordy, DJ Franco, no, D Franco, sorry. Nick GB, great comment from you all. Definitely not CIA Bear. Lovely to see you as well in the chat room. Amanda Panda, Chris Lamb, 5 Artists Liberaris. Lovely to see you as well. Valley Parks in the chat room too. Tomashino is still there as well. Peace Loving Criminal, Simon Doherty. Eric De Leon's there as well. And hopefully I've not, John Boyce as well. And I don't know if I've missed anyone. Sunset Lights 100. Yes.
Can I just shout out to 5 Artists Liberalis, right? Because they put we've got a video on her channel. Sorry, I can't remember. I can't remember if you're a man. It's really hard with some of these with so many subs now, and look, I think you're a guy. I want to say you're a guy, man, but I don't want to offend if you're a girl. And likewise, if you're a girl, if you know what I'm saying. Anyway, go and look on 5's channel, please, because 5 has got a video on there about this natural health thing. Natural health remedy, 100% organic type thing. And it just said, thank you for taking me seriously. Like, it's been around for a while, 5 has.
Big time. 5 Artists has been 5. You now been in contact with you. Probably since 2018 now. Yeah, a couple of years.
Yeah.
It's
been a while, man.
5 Artists. And Alfie Patching as well, Ranty as well. There's Karen B, Russell Red. There's other people that have just shown their face in the chat room as well. Z Proxy, Ranty, Flat Earth in the chat room as well. Lovely to see you there as well. And there was a couple of others that I just waved at there. Who? Wait, where's it? Feather Bear. And I'm going to come back and find you. I've missed it. I'm going to come back and find you. Ton Lit as well. Oh, massive shout out to all of you. Colin Turner as well. Luke Kennedy, Karen B. Lovely to see such awesome interactions from you all in the chat room. And at this time, as I said, we couldn't need each other more than we do right now. There's an international situation going on that's affecting all of us. Whether you buy into the validity of what you're being told or not, it's a self-evident truth that it's almost reached everybody's front door. Adam, 2 of the panel members tonight are out of a job. Am I okay? Are we okay to kind of share some of the content of our conversation today, Noel? I don't want to say who it was, but did you say a friend of yours had contacted you today, or someone you knew was out of a job as a result of this today, or lost their job? It seems to be like a knock-on effect. Everyone seems to be every day, you know. Go for it. You're on mute, darling. You're on mute. It's okay.
She got a phone call last night from her new boss. I think her boss has been replaced, and there's basically, yeah, we've got to let you go until all this madness is over. She said she was upset, but she just found it hilarious. She just feels like she's in a weird film.
Yeah.
She did actually say she would be willing to talk about this. Actually, I will ask her if she's available.
Oh, lovely. Lovely.
She's one of the people I red pilled not so long ago.
Oh, awesome. That'd be awesome, because I think, you know, for me, my work's dried up as well. I don't want it all to be like we've got the violins out, but I think this is going to be an international thing. I don't think this is going to be, Adam, back me up on this. I think this is going to be the general consensus in a minute, unless you work with an infrastructure.
What you're describing, Rox, is the societal whole that's about to form. What you see, and I said I work on Baseford is one of the most impoverished estates in the UK. Okay, so what the structures, the ASDAs, the big corporate bits and bobs, the blobs, they're going to receive support. They're going to look after their employees. The work agencies, they're going to dry up. One of my best friends, he's a DJ, he's an electrician, he's a grifter, he's a grafter, you know what I mean? He gets his money, he works freaking harder than anyone I know, but he's screwed. And this is the real concern, is the people that aren't able to be given direct financial support, and they're the people at the bottom always. We're always the ones that get bum-fucked. Yeah. This is the biggest concern. I said it earlier, you saw the mitigation early on for the financial systems, but actually the real impact on a large, certainly the working classes. I say the middle classes are covered because they tend to be corporate based. Those systems are in place. But those people like Cole, my mate, yeah, exactly. He's a DJ and an electrician. Those that actually work for a living off their own talent are screwed, because there's nothing. I've not heard of anything how they're going to be supported. Now, all that's going to be left is the benefit system. Well, how long does that take to process, Rox? You're muted.
Yeah, that's something I wanted to shine a light on. I myself am on universal credit, something I've mentioned a few times before. I'm a sole trader. I work for myself and I'm on universal credits. I get housing benefit top up. I get council tax top up. I get child benefit. And I spoke to my work advisor because I actually have a work focused appointment on the 13th of next month. So I have to go into the job centre. So my work coach had already contacted me to say, yeah, blah, blah, blah. If such and such, you know, the whole rigmarole of the protocol, don't come in. We'll do the appointment via phone, or we can do it on your journal. We'll just communicate back and forth. Because as a sole trader, if you go self-employed with the universal credits, I'm just going to reel this off real quick. You need to see your work advisor every month. They will take you through the self-employment process, and you will need to produce on a monthly basis your invoice and all your proof of earnings, right? So instead of going in person, they obviously want me to scan it in and mail it in. Fine. I said to them, I've already spoken to a few friends of mine that are now navigating through this and looking to go through universal credits. They're now looking to reduce that wait, and they are defaulting the payment to the hardship fund by 2 years, I think. So now it will be spread out across 2 years. So when you do have to pay back that hardship fund for your initial payment, it won't be taken out of your face right away, which it would have been otherwise. That's what they used to do. They used to just take it straight out of your face as soon as you do get paid. So even if you do have to wait for that claim to go through via 5 weeks, there are all sorts of protocols that have been dropped. Most of the major hurdles have been dropped, and you can kind of pretty much go through the basis without even going into the job centre. So if I will put the link in the description as well. If you think that you may need supporting and you're in the UK, all of my European counterparts, whatever retrospective country you're in, please email operationrealness@yahoo.com, whatever international country you're in. If you have the same kind of protocol in your country, please share the link so that we can put it in description. Sharing is caring. Some people may not know this help's available. My mum used to say, better to have tried and failed than never to have tried at all. It can't hurt to make a phone call to see if you are eligible for help. They've just thrown a ton of money into the hardship fund because they don't want anyone to go through hardship. So don't sit there and not, be proactive. At least try, make a phone call and see if you're eligible for some help. So I will make sure that's in the description, but they have dropped a lot of hurdles. You now don't need to go through the 5-week wait period, Adam. If they've also done a 3-month relief as well for anyone who's paying mortgage payments. I think it's 3 months that you don't have to pay your mortgage for. There's various other benefits out there for house owners as well that have just been announced today by the Chancellor of the Exchequer, which I'm more than happy to go through that in a second. And
have you got some links for that, Rox?
Yeah, I have. I'll send them.
Just send them me, because they're going to be great to hand out. Because, like I say, that is. It's not a question I had an answer to. It was a concern.
No worries.
Clearly, you've got information that can help people. So send me the links, and then I can share them.
Yeah, and this is how we'll all go through this. I promise you all, this is how we'll all go through this. All of you that are correlating information, as soon as someone asks you a question, answer it. If you have the information, answer it and give the source material for the information, because it will have a domino effect. That person will then help another person with that amount of information. And it's not mine. It's not anyone's. It's just there. Do you know what I mean? So I think this is a good look, Adam, in general. So I will give you those links. So yeah, I will make sure that the link for universal credit is also in the description after as well. And if anyone wants any more information or feels I could be any help from them or point them in the right direction, operationrealness@yahoo.com. I'll be more than happy to advise you or point you in the right direction for some information regarding that.
So, Rox, can I pick your brains on this? So just with the situation. So we've got a bloke, and he gets housing benefit. He's got his wife, his kids, she's, and he works hard, but he still gets credits. And those credits are based on what he average earns, and they're back. What suddenly happens if all his work dries up? It's all gone, because there's no need for the pubs to be full. You know what I mean? And therefore, what does he do? Because next month his credit's going to be the same. What does he do to make sure he's actually got that void filled then?
That's not a problem. That's exactly what I'm talking about. So universal emergency loans, right? Now you can they've dropped all the hurdles, so you can get extra cash to help regardless. Universal credit is a payment intended to help with living costs for those that are on a low income or out of work. However, the threshold for that has now been blown out of the water with what's going on. And that's what's caused such a kerfuffle within that cabinet, people that are opposing it. So yeah, if you guys just give me a second, I will get up the bits and pieces, because I wouldn't want to give you any inaccurate information. So
is this like, because people live weekly?
Oh yeah, that's why they're doing it up front.
Monthly.
Yeah, they're doing it up front. So a number of measures have been. I don't know who that is. That's all right. That's all right. A number of measures have been put in place amid the virus outbreak. This includes the department's work and pensions announcing that those affected by coronavirus will be able to apply for a universal credit and receive up to a month's advance payment upfront without physically even attending the job centre. Meanwhile, those unable to attend the job centre appointments because they need to self-isolate have been directed to tell the DWP as soon as possible in order to avoid being sanctioned. It can take up to 5 weeks normally for a person to get their first universal credit payment. And for those who need financial support in the meantime, it's possible now to apply for advance payment. as I said, you need to be aware that that payment needs to be paid back. However, as I said, there is a stature that it needs to be paid back within 12 months. However, this current Chancellor is putting through from the date's yet to be confirmed, but this period of repayment will now be extended to 24 months. So the payment that you pay back is massively reduced by about 50%, and it's less of a dent in your monthly money, so that people at least get a chance to get themselves back on the wheel as such. So I'll give you guys some more information on that really, really soon. But yeah, you can now just go straight through to the universal credits. You can go through their protocols without actually physically going into a job centre, and you can get that hardship advance. And that would be in response to the gentleman that Adam was talking about. And as I said, if you need any more information, don't hesitate to email me at operationrealness@yahoo.com, and I will try and be as helpful as I can moving forward. Go for it, bro.
I don't feel like I've said anything. I've been sat here in the chat room trying to chat to people. I'm not normally in the chat room, so I thought I'd make a change. But I just want to say to everybody, man, we've been handed this really, really unique opportunity, like that nobody's had before. Well, the last time they had it was in the Second World War, and everybody was terrified of getting bombs dropped on them. And this time we've got this really unique opportunity.
Can I just quickly let Kenny out while you carry on talking? Sorry,
yeah, go on.
Just hold. Let me just put the screen back to normal, and then yeah, go on.
We've got this really unique opportunity to strengthen our communities, basically to recreate the community again, because that's what I think has been the biggest. It's been one of the victims of the New World Order's plan. Has been to destroy communities and separate everybody, to get everybody fighting against each other. And what we've actually been handed is this opportunity to all stand together and help each other. And you know, if let's say I live in England and I've got a grandmother that lives in, I live in the south and my grandmother lives in the north. I'd like to know that there are people in the north that are taking care of my grandmother, and I'll be taking care of the people that I can take care of down in, you know, in London around me. And if everybody's doing that, if everybody's just taking care of each other, man, stop trusting that, like, just trust each other. We got to take everything that comes with a pinch of salt. But if all we're trying to do is help each other with the things that we can, with the immediate things that we can, and it's the people that are around us, you know, people, if they need food or water or medicine, or if there's anything that you can help with, this is a really beautiful opportunity to recreate real communities and actually bring some feeling back into the world, because that's what's been missing. And now everybody's
Can you feel it,
Can you feel it?
Yeah,
can you feel it? Can you feel it? Yeah.
I've not had so
Dolly
much
loves
work
singing
on
that
for a
song.
while, Rick.
Dolly can feel it. Say again.
I said I've not had so much work on for a while, but I'm buzzing, mate. Yeah, I'm not. Yeah, because I say there's an opportunity here. There's an opportunity for flat earthers, truthers, to forget this and show the love that and the society that we profess we want to see. Well,
yes, exactly. Be the change you want to see, as Luke Radowski says, man.
Exactly.
Shout out, we are change.
So yeah, I'm knackered, but I'm energized. You know what I mean? And I'm ready for the challenge ahead, and I'm looking forward to the opportunity to help people. And like I said, I think if all of us truthers just flat all round, you know, I look at people like Toady, and I know he's a good man. I chat with on Ranties, and I know, you know, I say flat all round, it doesn't matter. There's an opportunity now, guys, to back up the shit we're asking for by delivering it ourselves. So
practice what we preach.
Don't hug her.
Write a song,
don't hug a hoodie, hug a granny. Or don't hug her. Cover yourself in gel. No, stand on the doorstep and look after folks. And if we can just show that humanity that we ask for from society, I think we can get everybody
get everybody, they stand a meter apart from each other and they just go. Everybody, yeah, I'm hugging you, man. I'm hugging you right now.
That's it. That's the way
So what's the chat room saying, man? What's we need to?
Well, you've been reading it. I've just been bloody gabbing.
Yeah, I know. I've been
you got?
sort of. Oh, we got Esh. How you doing, buddy? Esh
All right,
News.
yeah.
Good to see you.
Let's have a little scroll.
He says, "Hey, Adam." Nia says, "Hey, man."
Hi, Nia. You're right, bruv.
Madam Medusa had a question, and I did actually want to. I wanted to bring it up. I didn't know when to bring it up. I've sent it to Roxanne. I don't know if she's seen it yet. I think it's more. It's geared towards me and Roxanne because it's about Q, and why. Let me just get the question up. Hang on.
Well, find it. I've got one here from Vertec I can answer. Like the Adam and Rox. What do you think of colloidal silver? I make my own, put simply. If you go to Iron Realm, you'll see me and John Savage, who introduced me to it, making it. I go through how you can make it yourself. Maybe something we could do 00 one time. I'm more than happy to show people how to
that would be amazing, mate. That
wait there, I'll show you. Wait there.
That would be absolutely amazing.
I've got me set up somewhere. I've seen it because I've been tidying me. Give me a sec. Where the fudge is it? There we go. Right. Let me put my camera on and I'll show you how to do it. Okay. Well, this is my rickety.
Do you need silver? Do you need silver to make colloidal silver?
Yeah.
Right.
You want solid.
Okay. The aluminium won't work.
Back from the 2010 days, you'll see here two 1 ounce bars, which is about, I don't know, about 30-40 quid a piece. But it was my prepping pre-2012. But what you'll see here is actually this is what that's what I use as my anode and cathode in there, because it's really effective. But all you actually need to do is go online and buy a little piece of about 10 quid, and this will last you for years. You see, I've made my straps out of the silver as well, so everything's silver. But if all you did was have that coil, okay, and then that, just bend it like that. You coil it because it increases the surface area, you can get more in, so it's a bit quicker. If you had that in there set up in your water, that's sufficient. And now that's, like I say, about 10 quid off eBay for just 99% silver at the jewelers. You know, make your own jewelry. Just a thought that maybe any eBay orders and stuff may have to get in quite quickly because we don't know how long they're going to be delivering for. Go to your jewelers and have a meter of silver wire. I don't think they'll be selling a lot of rings right now. They might be interested in it. But yeah, if you do that now, what I use is a big, no, it's at the back there, I can't be asked to get it, but a big power cell with variable voltage, and that's quite useful when you've got those. But what you can do is, you get the big dildo batteries. What is it, type D's or C's, something like that. You get 3 or 4 of them and kind of put them in a column and then just gaffer tape them together and then connect your electrodes to the end. And you don't even need direct electricity. You can just put it through batteries, leave it in there, and then basically you're looking for it to go like a bit pissy coloured, basically. And as soon as
for the water to go,
the
water to change colour.
Yeah, you need to start with distilled water. I'll stop that and I'll just get him.
Yeah, it has to be distilled. Yeah.
Yeah. So you can even make your own, or buy battery grade stuff. That's fine. You just want nothing in it really. Two reasons, because you're trying to load it with colloidal silver. If you've got other electrolytes in there, it's just going to react with the silver, and you're just going to get silver salts with the minerals that are in there. So it's really important you have, I say, distilled water, so the lowest parts per million content you can get. And then, like I say, you just rig it up with the batteries and just watch it. It takes time to learn, but like I say, once it goes a kind of like a dirty pea colour, it's kind of done. What you want to really look for is make sure you're not getting any black bits, black deposition on the bottom. You'll get a little bit on your electrodes, but if you're getting black deposition, you're not getting colloidal. You're not getting small particles. You're getting big chunks, and that means your voltage is too high. So you take a battery out, and it takes a bit longer. And that's kind of like how to prep it at home if you needed to.
So what are you? So the water. So hang on, I think I missed a bit. Then the water goes a bit of a like urine-y colour, and you're looking for something that's collecting on the bottom.
If you
what parts the colloidal silver?
If you're getting black deposits, then you've got too high a voltage. Okay. So what you want to see is just over a couple of hours, that water get a little bit orangey, yellowy in colour. So slightly change. Now that'll change over time, over the next day or so, but that's kind of what you're looking at, and you kind of have to gauge it and see what with your battery pack you do, and you get a parts per million meter, which is like £3 off eBay, and you'll start to be able to gauge how long it takes to get it up to however many parts per million you want. It's very simple. You tend to produce about 1 litre at a time, which is huge amounts. Alwyn's a great exponent of this. He makes his own as well, but hopefully I've showed you.
But what, do you drink the water or something? What is it?
You've made your colloidal silver. You then use it as you see fit for the amount of money you give to InfoWars for an equivalent product.
Would you use it for? What are the benefits of colloidal silver?
Well, I mean, without going...
And do you drink it? Do you apply it? I don't understand.
I've took that colloidal silver and I've formulated it into creams and ointments, which is fantastic instead of antiseptics. You know, your Germalines and the likes. It's better than that. It works quite well on my Leo's teenage spot. His first spot, we gave it a dab, and it had gone all funky by the morning. But you can do it. Do with it as you see fit. You can go on for hours, but I think probably the sensible way is colloidal silver is used in the medical industry. The way
they put it in plasters, didn't they?
Yeah,
so they put it into plasters.
The way in which it's hypothesized, and this is, I'm yet to see the real evidence, but the anecdotal is true for both alternative and standard medicine, is that the reason you're trying to make small molecule, just 1, 2, 3 atom sized particles, is that these appear with silver to have some strange effect on the it's called peptidoglycan, which is the cell wall structure, but silver appears to pierce through it, rupturing it. And peptidoglycan isn't shared by mammalian cells in their cell wall structure, so it's something that's unique in the cell wall structure of bacteria, that silver seems to just bust through it, rupturing it and allowing osmotic pressures to just rupture the rest of the bacterial cell. So you'll see it in all sorts of coatings now, and it's in all sorts of dressings. Silver, colloidal silver stuff's there. So it's used in both conventional and alternative medicine, but the root source is to produce as lower number of atomic molecules that you can get together to produce your colloidal silver. Getting one is nigh on impossible, but very small amounts is what you're trying to do, and that's what you do there with your electrolysis. Vertex, how many parts per million? Try it yourself is the honest answer. Okay. It depends what you're starting with, but I was looking at I recently threw them away because I kept loads of little sample bottles to see how they fared over time, and it's one of those experiments I kind of things I waned on a little bit, if I'm being honest, because of bloody flat Earth. But if I can find one,
we've got some people relating with you. CFR News, Mark, great to see you in the chat room, darling. Drinking or having copper, silver, gold containers is great. I've heard a lot of people saying that as well. I just thought I'd add that in while you're looking for something. And to everyone else in the chat room, they're giving some absolutely brilliant comments while you're talking about this, Adam. This is brilliant, just even delving into this, because colloidal, is it called colloidal?
Colloidal.
It's not something I've looked into too much, but shout out to Coffee Paul because he gave me some. And I did take it. I'm not going to lie. I did take it. I didn't feel any worse for taking it, put it that way. And I just took like a couple of spoons of it a day. I just took it like medicine. And I didn't see anything bad happen as a result of it. So I can't say, anything negative about it. I'm not sure I took it for long enough, though, to see any benefits. Do you know what I mean?
Do you know what I've got it confused with as well? I've got it confused with monatomic. I've got colloidal confused with monatomic.
Yeah, well, that's just one atom, and that I said that's very, very certainly
it's pure, isn't it? It's like,
well, look, if you're patient, turn the voltage right down, okay, and that's what you'll produce. If you're happy to, let's say, do it at home. This is like cottage production, so there's no. It's like baking. It's what's your oven like, etc. You've got to do it at your and get your own experience at it. For me to say do X, Y, and Z, it's not like making Rick Simpson oil. That's fairly straightforward. It's let's say because you're dealing with electricity and as your batteries wear down, just kind of get a feel for it. You can make liters and liters of this stuff, and it won't even diminish your rods. Yeah. You spend that 10 quid, you won't need to spend £10 for the rest of your life ever for the amount of colloidal silver you'll need and be able to make. So don't, and when if you've cranked the voltage up too much and they go all black, just stop the process, reduce your voltage, get a little bit of wire wool, clean or sandpaper, clean up your anode and cathode and start again. And honestly, you can't go wrong. Arwin's in the chat.
Hey, Arwin.
Hey, Arwin.
I met Arwin in real life, I met a lot of people in real life actually now. That's quite
I've
good.
slept with Arwin, Rox.
I've shared a room with Rantony and Janine.
That's what I meant.
Do you know that's the funniest thing, Rox?
What?
We've never met in real life.
I know. I've met Adam in real life, but we haven't. I've not met Noel yet in real life. There's quite a lot of people in the chat room I've met in real life. It's cool. It's cool. Sorry, I don't know. That was so random. No, you're elusive. You're elusive.
No, well, I didn't used to be, but last 4 years, yeah.
Don't you just love that though? It's not just an online community. There is a community here of people that do know each other in real life and have met, and I think that's what makes it so cool.
I used to hang out in your ends as well, Roxanne.
Did you?
Yeah, around Kingston, Hampton Court, Chiswick.
What years was those? What years was that?
To 2011.
Really?
Yeah.
Where was I in 2011? Let me think. Yeah, I was around still. Mumsy was still living in Richmond.
May have crossed paths.
You never know. You never know. It's a small plane. That's what I'm just going to keep saying now. I used to say it's a small world, but it's a small plane. It is. It is. Listen, you be on Instagram and people be posting pictures of your friends. And you be like, yo, I know that person. How do you know that person? Wait, when did you two know each other? Do you and me? It's a small plane. That's all I'm saying. Social media makes it small. Really
so
small.
It's funny. The guy who first accidentally red pilled me to FE by posting on Facebook, once you go flat, you never go back. The same guy I mentioned to you a couple of times. He sent me a little handwritten thing the other day saying people I want to try and make contact with this year. And 3 of them I've had chats with this week, thanks to you.
Really? Yeah. Oh my goodness! Are you joking me now?
Yeah,
no!
This week he sent that to me.
No freaking way! Are you serious?
Yeah. Yeah, Anthony was on there. Dave Murphy was on there. And Ranty was on there.
Hey, that's
bollocks! No bollocks.
Absolutely true.
Taking it
Absolute truth.
personally.
Let me find it
Adam's
for you.
like, why is my name not on the list? No,
Hey,
don't
I
lie.
rumbled in Rome.
It would surprise me if Adam may have been, because I didn't actually place Adam as part of
Don't.
GLOBALIST until I watched one today, and I was like, oh, hang on, I know that name. I was chatting to him last night.
Hey, I'm not on Globebusters. I'm on Ballbusters.
Bull.
Sorry.
Sorry.
Cammy, who's part of Iron Realm, like me, is Bob's wife from Globebusters. But yeah, there's balls and globes and
I've got a better way of saying that. Can we say it differently? Sorry.
yeah, do it.
Bob from Globebusters, yeah,
is
Cammy's husband. I think we'll say Cammy like the lead. Cammy's my lead. Oh, I love
Yeah,
it.
Cammy's part of Iron Realm. That's kind of how I meant it. Did
Got a lot of love
sorry.
for Cammy. I got a weak spot for Cammy. Cammy knows this. Cammy, I love you, Cammy. I have a massive sweet and Karen B. Got a lot of love for a lot of ladies in this. There's not a lot of ladies in this, which is why the ladies that are in this are just such super women in my eyes. They really are. Because, well, we all know the social reprisal that comes from doing this in the first place, right? Nora, I see you in the chat room. I see you there. You were there at Speaker's Corner the other month.
Nora's hardcore original, mate. She's one of the earliest
she's a front
ladies you'll see in there in terms of presence and still like smashing it, you know.
Yeah, big time. She's a frontliner. The one thing I did want to do, guys, is I wanted to, you said something earlier on about there's so many things I want to tell you. I don't know what order to say it in, but I do want to bring this into the conversation before I completely forget to do it, because I'm just little old me. I'm Roxanne. I'm a Londoner. I've been pretty much raised in the city, and I've been kind of taught to just kind of go shop and get what I need, and that's the end of it. I've kind of come to the conclusion today, guys, and I want to try and be as positive about this as possible. I went to the shops, and the shops have got bugger all. Okay, nothing, absolutely nothing. There's no eggs. There's no eggs for days now. I can't get eggs for days. Today I thought I was going to get eggs because I haven't been able to get eggs for ages. Is no eggs. Is no flour. Is no nothing. So I was in Asda today, and Asda's not really my usual shop. I've got a Nectar card. I don't have any other loyalty cards. In here is my wallet. Is this just this?
Never used a loyalty card in my life.
This is all I have. Okay. And every time I get 500 points, they take £2.50 off my shopping. And sometimes I save like 1,000 points and get a £5 off in it, and I'm laughing. But anyway, that's the only one I use. So I went into Asda today because I couldn't get into Sainsbury's, and I just couldn't get into the other Sainsbury's either, unless I wanted to spend maybe 3 hours waiting to get into the car park. So that alarmed me a little bit. Not in a fear way. It just, I need stuff in it. So I need stuff. Like, I don't need to hoard. I just need stuff. So with that, I went to Feltham. Now, if anyone's aware of where Feltham is, it's near the train station. They've got like a little retail bit where it's got an Asda and an Argos and a Poundland and an Iceland and a Starbucks and a couple of other shops as well. And I was like, oh, it's got an Aldi as well, an Aldi or a Lidl. And a Tesco, sorry, a Tesco in it. So
if it's got a pound shop, it's got a couple of charity shops and the Greggs.
Yeah, yes, it's got the whole 9 yards. You know what I'm talking about. It's that kind of remit. Adam, you've been involved in the tour. You see them all over the country. They're just those little retail ploppity plop things, right? I don't even know where I got that word from. So don't even hang up on that with them.
Ploppity plop thing.
Ploppity plop.
Moving along.
Ploppity plop.
Moving along.
What's a ploppity plop?
Like,
That
there
sounds
was some meeting years ago in the government. They decided they build these identical little retail estates all over the country.
Mm-hmm. With that being said, I'm just going to quickly show you something, because you'd have to see this to believe it. Shout out to anyone who knows Feltham. I'm just going to play this real quick. Hopefully you'll get the gist of what I'm saying, roughly. Hold on.
I'm at my local Asda. Car park's really, really empty. Like I've come too early on a Sunday. Normally this is ramp.
Okay, so I got there, and the place was like a ghost town, and I thought, too late. Admittedly, I got there about 1 o'clock in the afternoon. There was a lot of high visibility, like G4S security, like manning a busy car park that wasn't busy. Like I'd missed the big picture almost. I was like, have I missed the rush or what's going on? Walked into the shop, everything looked hunky-dory from the offset. Flowers were there, gift card section was there. Where it's spring, you know those little solar lights and gnomes and stuff that they, like, it's garden time, buy garden stuff, that kind of crap. That was all there. And so I went further in and I went, I need tea, I need sugar, I need some milk, I need some eggs, and I went to go and get, I couldn't get it. Anyway, cut a long story short, we're going to move past the fact that we know the shelves are empty. With that being said, I went, right, I've had it now. Tried all these different shops. I can't get what I can get. And as I was walking out, I walked past this big set of 6 pallets. And it was like 3 for $10, multi-purpose compost. And I was like, okay. And then I went, seeds. So I went, you stay there, you compost, because here's quite quiet. I'm going to leave here now, and I'm going to go to home base and see if I can get some seeds. So I went to home base, and it was closed, and it was closed like it was too late on a Sunday. So I went back to Asda, and I went into Asda, and I went, okay, let me go look down the garden section where there are the little gnomes. And I went down the little section in Asda where the gnomes were, and this is where I proceeded to find this. And it was a really good deal. It was like get 4 packs for I think £2.50. And I got some of I'm going to hold them up for you. I got some of these lettuce. I got some strawberries, some sweet corn, some tomatoes, cucumber, courgettes, big different tomatoes. These ones are just normal tomatoes, not cherry ones. Carrots. I also got these from Poundland. You can get 3 for £1. So I got grow your own. Oh, by the way, before any of you think, Roxanne, you could have just got the potatoes. Yeah, if there was any fruit and vegetable available, I would have bought fruit and veg from Asda. Trust me. Like, shout out to all people who can still buy fruit and veg. But these, I've got onions, and I've got 2 different types of potatoes, and 3 different types of peas. Now,
I'll tell you what, I'm coming around your house in October.
Well, I thought this is what I thought, and then someone put a comment on my community section and said, "Why don't you start a community garden?" I went, Then you said about those leaflets, and I was like, now I can identify the people that won't be like, underlying health issue, vulnerable people, all the fit, able-bodied, and even if we don't have green fingers, the elderly that can't do things, they may have knowledge that I'm not great with gardens, guys. That's why I said in the community.
My nan was she was like green fingers, Miss Green Fingers. She had so many things growing, man. Old people are the people to go and see about this.
So I've done that. I've done that for 15 quid.
Rox, on the fruit and veg issue, I've not done any prepping, and I told me to chat. And we kind of shop local anyway. We go to the supermarkets for the packed goods, etc., which Marie confirmed was very sparse at Sainsbury's. But went over the road to Aldi, and they seem to be coping a lot better, and also the Lidl. But what she did say is that when she went to greengrocers and to the butchers, they weren't worried. Everything was exactly the same. I don't think there's a panic in terms of food you can eat. There appears to be a raiding of non-perishable goods that's occurring. There's no food crisis. There's just a prepper's crisis.
Exactly. Can I? I've just had a message from a friend. Can I play you a couple of voice messages? I'm just going to call it as I see it.
I'm just going to jump off. I'll be back as soon as I can. But I've got a few other bits and.
No worries, sweetheart.
No worries, dude.
Yeah.
Take care, darling.
I know you're going to be here for another 3 or 4 hours like last time. I'll see you in a bit.
All right, sweetie. Speak to you soon.
Okay.
See you.
Shout out
see you,
to
man.
Bye, guys.
Absolute trooper, my darling, and we massively appreciate his input. So hopefully he'll be back. Shout out to Asita. Thank you, sweetie, for getting in touch with me. I'm just going to play this. Make of it what you will. All right.
My little brother Elijah, his mate Reese is in the army, and he's rung up this morning. He said they've had a big briefing at his depot, and he said he's been called in. He said one day this week the country's 100 million% going into lockdown, and he's been told he's got to go to supermarkets and patrol the supermarket to make sure no one's fighting and portion all the food out for everyone. He said that they've been told in the briefing it's going to be a maximum of 100 people a queue. If it's more than 100 people in the queue, they're going to get told to go away.
And the next one.
Yo, man them. Just a quick one still. Yeah, so basically, yeah, my girl's brethren is a police officer. So obviously they get told certain things and get made aware of certain things that aren't necessarily going to be public knowledge straight away. And she basically sent a message, yeah, about an hour ago, saying that right now the police are in talks with government and the army and that, and they're looking to push a bill through on Thursday that will send the country into lockdown, innit? So obviously lockdown, obviously everyone knows what that means. Can't leave your yard, and the military on the roadsides, and you get a fine if you're caught outside your yard and all that fuckery, innit? So I'm just letting the man them know that's just some inside information, innit? Like, it's not public knowledge just yet. So yeah, obviously no one don't panic and that, but just let people them know, so whoever needs to get their things, get them from now.
Right, I'm just going to make a disclaimer before we have a ton of people. I'm just saying, I'm calling what I'm seeing, I'm sharing what I'm hearing. Like, you heard both of those guys saying there's no need to panic. It's just, if this is going to happen, then this is a foregone conclusion. So no one's doing, I didn't do breaking news or anything. Okay, obviously it's going to be my mate's cousin. Obviously it's going to be a mate of a mate, because if it is leaked information, then it can't come from the source, can it? So I wouldn't expect any of your heads to button up the back any more than, so please don't think I'm sitting here trying to insult anyone's intelligence. Obviously I've listened to these messages before I played them. I know what those messages say because I played them before I played them on air. I know that one of them said, you've seen us even say, it won't be long before we hear a friend of a friend, or my mate, or my sister's brethren, or my sister's man, or my such and such's ex's mum said such and such. What I'm trying to say to you is, my mum always used to say to me, forewarned is forearmed. Better to have tried and failed than never to have tried at all. Yeah. So, like, it's information. Whether it's legit or not remains to be seen. However, if the country goes into lockdown over the next few days, then you're not going to be that shocked, because you're going to go, well, you know, the shock value is gone. And I think that the deep state or the cabal would like people to be shocked and feared. But when people are informed, normally people are therefore able to be in control of what they're doing. So that's the last thing. We're not selling fear around here, guys. And I just want to reassure you on that. But what those voice messages seem to stipulate is in the next few days. And that's that. The reason I'm playing these messages is because it correlates with a lot of other information I've received today about by Monday. Shout out to Levant as well. Levant gave me a message, which I think I read out earlier on. And I did show it up to the screen to you all. And so that's 3 different sources just today within this 2 hours that we've been streaming live. But I've also had other people communicate with me before the live stream as well, stipulating the same information. It all seems to be anonymous information coming from different sources, but all leading to the same equals, and that is by Monday we'll be in lockdown. So,
can I just say,
yeah,
that's one of the things that, excuse me, it's one of the things that I'm proud of our channels for not trying to do. We're not spreading fear. We don't want despair. We've managed to. Really proud of our chat room. Really, really, really proud of our chat room, man. Yeah, just be aware, but have no fear. Don't be afraid. Just be aware of what's going on, and when it happens, go, oh, yep, knew that was going to happen.
Yeah, and I'd like to just go back to peace loving criminal there as well, Rich. We completely agree. Let's do a number 1 or a number 2 poll. And I think this, as the weeks go on, will be interesting to see how this poll changes over the next few weeks. I may even end up knowing someone. You may even, Rich.
I have a friend of a friend who is saying he's got respiratory problems. He can't breathe. He's feeling sick. She's looking after him.
Is he on paper to someone who doesn't know you? To someone who doesn't know you, right? That just sounds, yeah, but that's a friend of a friend, Rich. Sorry.
Yeah, I've got 2 friends of a friend.
The thing is, I know my friend, and I do trust my friend. If she's round there looking after somebody who's sick, she is round there looking after somebody who's sick. She's not she's too good old Amanda. She's too simple to be anything else.
Noel's concurring. He's got a friend of a friend too. Noel said the same.
I've had 2 friend of a friend scenarios, but again, actually one of them is a friend of a friend of a friend scenario. The other one is a friend of a friend scenario. Either way, I don't I decided in the beginning I'm not going to accept friend of a friend's only because, I mean, at least if it's your friend, you're accountable for the statement. But if it's a friend of a friend, I mean,
First
Yeah.
hand,
nothing
primary
really.
knowledge.
And if this
Primary
is as
And also-
contagious as
also-
we think it is, we're
also-
all going to know someone soon.
Well said.
Yeah, and I would also, I'd kind of stress that I'm not saying that this person's got coronavirus or
Well, if
COVID-19
your
or
friend's
anything.
treating them, then
All I'm
probably
stating-
not, right?
All I'm saying is that my friend has said, yeah, her friend, she's round there with her, because he's been looking after her dog, Simba. So she went round there to see him, to see Simba, and he was sick. And he said he's having difficulty breathing. So that was that's all I heard. And obviously that did make me think, well, I have said that that's what COVID-19 is. It's a respiratory thing. That's why they're laying the guys on their fronts. But nobody's said, and nobody's diagnosed anything. Like we don't know what he's got. But she might end up being quarantined with him.
You never know. You never know. I think the best thing that we can all do over the next few days is try and give as much helpful, usable information that's, is help user friendly for the person, because as I said, we seem to be going into massively uncharted times. The Prime Minister of Greece today said we are at war with an invisible enemy. That's quote unquote. Greece's
We
Prime
had
Minister
Macron saying yesterday, at war, not with. He didn't say what we were at war with. He just said we are at war, didn't he?
Yeah.
Sorry, I interrupted you. I'm sorry, babe.
No, not at all, darling. No, I think it's fair to say there's more than one leader right now saying that we're at war.
Did we do the 1-2 poll yet? Sorry.
Yeah, we did. Yeah, we did. The chat.
It's all twos.
No, we've got a few ones
In my chat.
And Luke Kennedy and Peace Loving Criminal all put 1. So we've got 3 1s, and the rest that I can see so far are 2s.
So 1 was knows someone or knows a friend of a friend, or
2
know anyone?
is no, and 1 is yes. Do you know someone? Do you know anyone that's been infected?
Right. Is it? Do you know anyone, or do you know anyone that knows anyone?
Yeah, all the ones that press 1, you know who you are. DD as well. If you know someone that's got it, is it someone that you directly know, or is it a friend of a friend, like the boys have just said? So could you
in the same instance as mine, where I know my friend, so I do kind of trust what my friend has said, but I can't really corroborate it with any evidence or anything.
So I'm going to keep an eye on that just now, and see. We've still got more 2s coming into the chat room there as well. Arwin, yeah, that's exactly what the Prime Minister said. We're at war with an invisible enemy. So yeah, that's been said today. As I said, there's a lot of stuff that's happened today. Things have accelerated quite quickly on an international situation. New Yorkers may have to get shelter in place order soon. I'm not sure entirely what this means, so I'll just explain to you what I've seen so far. It says today that New Yorkers should be prepared for the possibility of shelter in place order to fight the spread of this enemy that would largely confine people to their homes. The New York City Mayor Bill de Blasio said today the decision whether to issue the order is likely to be made in the next 24 to 48 hours. There were 814 confirmed cases of the respiratory illness caused by the virus as of Tuesday afternoon in the city. Even though decisions have not been made yet in the city or the state, New Yorkers should be prepared right now for the possibility of shelter-in-place order within the next 24 hours to 48 hours. With a population of roughly 8.5 million people, New York is the largest US city. So that will be around 8 million people locked down in their homes. We'll see what the situation develops with regards to that. But that is literally just come out within the last 120 minutes, that statement. Obviously, I know the US is on a different timeline from ourselves. Also, Canada in the last half an hour have come out to vow to give emergency measures, financial support for people affected, and said that they were invoking a rarely used emergency act to restrict the movement of people and goods. trying to get more information on that now. As I said, I really can't go with what the mainstream media is telling me. I'm trying to get direct government sources to tell us what the official governments are saying, because by the time it reaches the tabloids, they put their spin on it. I've seen CNN online reports on the East Coast completely conflicting what they're saying to the West Coast. Same report. You can just see they've moved the words in around. It's horrendous. In fact, I might just get a picture up of it right now to show you. Shall we? Let's do it. Let's
do it.
CNN is fake news. Let's do it right now.
Do you use a Wayback Machine?
Do I what?
Use
Wayback.
the Wayback Machine. That's a site that keeps records of changes in articles and deleted websites.
I've seen people use that. I have seen people use that. I've never used it myself.
I probably would if I considered myself a journalist, but I do not.
Yeah.
Do I use a what? A what machine? Was it not for me? That question was for him.
No, it was for you. Yeah, Wayback Machine.
A what? What is that?
It's I think
something
it's
that we should use.
Automatically archives changes in things on the internet, and things that get deleted. So,
cool.
if someone changes a Twitter post, you can often find it on the Wayback Machine.
Cool. No, I wasn't aware of that actually. Okay, so here we go. I just thought this would be none of you might like what I'm using to show this on, but you know, it's quick. It's quick to get.
Sorry, Ranty says his partner knows of 2 people.
Right, hopefully you guys will be able to see this. Can you see that?
Yeah.
Okay, it says here, Google will not be publishing a national scale website for any coronavirus testing anytime soon. Google will partner with the US government to develop a nationwide. It's like, what? Work out, add, not, or take away, not. Give it, take it. Just goes to show what's happening across one country throughout different states. You can just imagine what's happening in Europe and Asia as soon as all that conflicted. So the mainstream media will spin regardless of where they are, because obviously the demographic's different. They're dealing with a different demographic in one place than they are in another, but they're the same news outlet. So they're just tweaking it. They're just tweaking it as and where they go. So I'd rather just get the information from the government sources direct.
So for anyone who's as hard as sight as me, I wasn't sure what it was saying, but it was CNN saying directly contradictory things in 2 different regions. Is that correct?
Yeah. Basically saying will in one and will not in another.
We will do this,
yes.
We will not in another.
Basically, yeah. But you can find examples of that all over the place. If you're on it and you're pulling different news bits up from different regions, you can quite easily cross-reference that, especially if you're on social media. If you're on Instagram, it just takes 2 of you living in different regions to go and cross-reference the news together. It's super easy. Both of you can just be on Skype, screen share, go to your local news outlet and go and look at the headlines and see how they've changed it. The Guardian do it in this country. I'll do a few in England. It's brilliant. They say different things in Liverpool than they do in London. It's class act, an absolute class act. And it's just a quick little word change. And it's to basically polarize the demographic against each other. Keep us divided in every which way possible. Once people realize, the muggles realize the news is the enemy of the people, that'll be it. It's done for them. It's done, because, you know, that's what people talk about in the shop. I was in the shop the other day and he went, well, it's all disinformation, isn't it, really? You just got, you know, and then you've got the other woman behind and she's take it. So everyone takes that headline and runs with it. And then they'll argue with people and they're like arguing with things that they haven't looked into themselves, and pretty much like the same, you know, hurdles that we face at Speaker's Corner. So yeah, I would like to shine a light on that, because they're even those newspapers I've got there. I'm sure if we get someone to give us the Daily Mirror from somewhere further up in the country, or possibly the equivalent in Scotland, you'll see the same headline but just slightly different, and giving it in the way that helps them in whatever respective area they're talking about. So yeah. Any questions?
Did anyone notice this thing that was happening last night? Whether it was real or not, I don't know, but I saw it sufficiently on my feed that it seems like enough people were believing it. That Google has been infiltrated, and I also saw it mentioned about Facebook that they're heavy
Taking over the
censorship
big tech
down.
countries.
Yeah, no. Apparently, they've been infiltrated, and their censorship was down. I did try searching things like adrenochrome and Hillary kill list, things that normally don't turn
Yeah,
up, and they
I've
did
seen
unusually.
I've seen an acronym of panic. Patriots are nationally in control. Panic. Or something. Did you see it? Did you see the PA?
I didn't.
I don't know. I can't remember.
I
what it
didn't
was.
see that, but I saw a lot of people posting about Google being open for basically their you know how they normally steer
Whatever
you away from
algorithm
certain
they had
topics.
in place has been
Apparently,
removed.
it wasn't functioning yesterday, and there were loads of people saying, "I know it was one of the QAnons, the one that uses the Punisher mask, saying we've taken over Google." I don't know if it's gone any further because the censorship seems to be back up now, but certainly last night it seemed to be off. Like I searched Hillary kill list, and boom, Hillary has been accused of. I was like, "Wow, the Google never ever gives me that information."
Well, you know what? I'm still waiting for a translation from what you told me, because that just plays into what you told me about Israel today. You know, Israel's under duress from Big Brother right now. Israel's been told to stay in their house, and if they come out, Big Brother will be watching and come for them.
I did not know that. I mean,
Yeah,
it doesn't
man,
surprise
big
me,
time.
but I did not know that.
Not just that, is it? They've actually. It's a bit more serious than that. It's they're monitoring everything.
The lot.
Aren't Israel a 5G free country? Aren't they one of those countries that banned it?
I'm actually going to get the information up now while you guys are talking. Okay, I'm going to read it to you now, if that's all right with you. Israel has deployed a cyber monitoring against the virus. Tells people not to leave their home.
Oh,
and please look up. Yeah, please look up this company. It says the Israeli government have begun deploying cell phone monitoring technology against the virus on Tuesday today, and urged people from this moment onwards do not leave their home. Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu's cabinet approved emergency regulations enabling the Shin Bet security service to tap into all cellular data to retrace the movements of all that have been affected. The data customarily used for anti-terrorism will be used by the health ministry to locate and alert hunters become the hunted. Sorry. No, my mind's just blown there. Sorry. The health ministry to locate and alert those who have been in their vicinity, the government said. And yeah, if you look up Shin Bet, and that is spelt SHINBET, two different words, Shin and then Bet, and it's an Israeli security agency that it was set up in, I believe, 1949. Quite a long time ago, actually. And they're now at the forefront of this.
Directly at the beginning of Israel.
Basically, yeah. Yeah, Shin Bet. Look them up. SHINBET, two words. Shin Bet. Never heard of them before until today. Funnily enough. It's funny, isn't it? But yeah,
No,
shout out to Near.
before.
We need to give a shout out to Near Rich, because
Shout out,
we won't say anything
and
specific. I don't want to get him in trouble. I don't know if we can get him in trouble saying that. Can we even say that?
I don't F with Israel anymore. They're a tricky bunch. I don't really understand. I thought that he was undergoing a lot of trouble for his transgressions whilst he was in power, but apparently that's all seems to have been forgiven, and he's now a talking head.
Yeah. See, as I said, I think we've all been. I mean, how many of us have actually got Israeli friends that we've grown up with?
I had a few in London, and a couple I wouldn't call friends also, but yeah, a couple that I would still call friends.
So I feel like a lot of us have not really had the social interact. We haven't been socially interacting. We haven't been in a life situation that has, I haven't had that much social interaction.
I can tell you I've met 3 Israelis before before John and Nia. I'd only ever met 3 Israelis, and it was brief meetings. Oh, hi. There was one guy, actually was in Malaga. When I was homeless in Malaga, there was a guy from Israel that I met. Actually, no, it was a girl, sorry. And I said, oh, you're from Israel. Wow, what's it like over there? And she was just kind of, yeah, it's really nice, man. And just sounded American. And I just thought, Yeah, it's just another America, isn't it? Really, Israel, because all the Israelis have got American accents, man. All the Israelis that I've met have got American accents, apart from Near, and I don't know what Near's accent is. No, Near's accent isn't American, is it?
No, I mean he's taught by America, maybe. Yeah, no.
My friend, sorry,
I think
my friend who got fired is free to join and share her story if you're.
Oh, cool. Yeah. But
I don't know
I
if you want
will.
to stay on this topic or move on to the rabbit hole or whatever else.
That's what I was going to say, if we could, because I really do want us to stay on the lighter side of things. As I said, if there's anything that comes up while we're live that's like life-changing, I've got it in the background. I've got various websites opened in the background, and I'm constantly refreshing them. I'm keeping an eye on what's going on with the US government right now, various different countries in Europe that affect me directly with family members as well. So I'm trying to keep my finger on the pulse in the background. And yeah, I think that's a breath of fresh air now. If we could jump into some rabbit holes. And I think, so you all know that you're not on your own when this reaches your doorstep and it prevents you from going to work. It's prevented me. I'm a sole trader. It's prevented NOEL. It's prevented OO. I'm sure we're going to hear of a lot of other people that have been affected via work through this international malarkey that's going on. So yeah, with a bit of no, you're able to send if you want me to send you another link, I can, but you're more than welcome to forward the link that I sent you, darling. If you want to do that, that's absolutely cool.
Well, it's up to you. I just let her know that we're probably going to move on because it was all a bit survivalist and kind of depressing, and we're trying to get a little bit lighter.
Yes. And with that lightness, I wanted to kind of, start off with that, proactive vibe of planting and trying to do what one can do. Now, with that being said, you raised a really valid point earlier on, though, about living in an apartment, and you were like, no garden for me, so there won't be any planting for me. But that's when I thought, okay, fix, make, mend, and do. Now, my garden's not really appropriate for growing things in. I don't have green fingers. I really wouldn't know how to get it started. And then I thought to myself, okay, so if I've bought some equipment, I can maybe make some like trough boxes where I can grow things in and maybe do things like that. And then I went one more than that, and I saw a skip which had wooden pallets in it and all sorts. And I thought, okay, I can now dry out that wood and at a later stage plant things. And the wonderful thing about this is I'm such a novice, right? I don't know. I just picked up the seeds. And then when I got home, and we're talking about coincidences, right? And things that you just couldn't make up. Okay, I'm really not a green-fingered gal, so please forgive me if there's people in the chat room that are like, duh, didn't you know that, Roxanne? You're such an idiot. I am an idiot because I'm not green-fingered, so this wouldn't come naturally to me. I just bought a bunch of seeds because they were there.
City folk, you don't know nothing.
I know, it's ridiculous. And then when I unpacked everything, when I got home, I got the feed, I've got everything. I was like, right, so when I do need these, and then I was like, wait, when I need them, will it be the right time to plant them though? So I'm thinking, OAPs have been told to lock down for 12 weeks. My guess is things aren't really going to get relaxed until after the summer holidays, September, October, maybe as late as November. That's just my opinion. But in thinking that...
It depends on the motives, doesn't it?
Correct. So I thought I'll have a look at when these can be planted. And apparently you can plant strawberries indoors right up until the end of April. So yeah, I've got until the end of April to plant those. These ones here are cherry tomatoes, and I can plant those right up until the end of May. So I've got some time to start those. Sweet corn, I can plant those right up until the end of May indoors. But guess what? You can sow them outdoors at the end of May as well. So you don't even have to start these ones indoors. With the lettuce, you can start those ones off from now. And you can sow them indoors right up until the end of July. So you don't even have to start growing these until the end of July, lettuces. And you can plant them outdoors as well. But indoors, it kind of, because I've got a shed, I've got like natural light coming into the shed and stuff like that. I can ventilate it. And because I really don't have, obviously there's slugs and snails where I live, and there's lots. So I don't really want to get my stuff destroyed.
Do you need a lot of light for,
of course,
all three of those?
Yeah, you do. But yeah, the same pretty much applies to this, guys. You can sow that indoors until the end of May. The courgettes, end of June. Cucumbers, you can go to the end of May with those as well. And I got some carrots here, which you can sow right up until the end of June as well. The 3 bean.
I don't think they need as much light.
The 3 beans to the end of June, and the potatoes. Please plant.
That's Malta.
Oh, bless.
Sorry, that's World War Z in the background. That's Malta. They're flying over there because it's Malta playing Israel.
Oh. I think this one says, yeah, just looking for it. It says, yeah, plant up until April and then harvest in July for those ones. Plant up to the end of May for these, and plant up to the end of April with these. So it's not like, oh, I've got to get them in the ground in the next couple of weeks or I'm screwed. And then I went, well, what are the chances? Just when I've got right into uncharted territory and I really don't know how this is going to go, these can still be planted. So I'd urge any of you, you know, if you have green fingers, help other people that don't know what they're doing, because there's probably some other people that need some helpful advice. Can you do these things if you live in an apartment? Because I'm thinking, if you've got a window sill, you could maybe put it on the outside.
I mean, you're only talking about probably an hour of YouTube videos for each type of thing. Like,
yeah.
You know, 4 or 5 videos to probably know as much as most people know before they start. Like,
I'm thinking, what if there's no ability to watch the internet though? What if people run out of internet? Or so that's why I'm saying to talk to the neighbors.
The great thing about plants is a lot of them do self-seed. Now, if you're relying on it, you probably don't want to put yourself onto that. But you can get yourself a gardening book, probably from a charity shop. I got one from a charity shop for like 10 pence, and it covers all your major horticulture.
Yes. Nice. I might have a look in charity shops and see if I can get a book, because I have no idea what I'm doing. I have some gloves because I don't want to hurt my hands.
You can probably find one from like the 80s, but the thing is that the methods for growing plants hasn't really changed unless you're trying to do hydroponics or aquaponics, or so these more modern methods which require a lot more technical know-how.
So yeah,
like
please,
if you're just doing soil plus sun and some, you know, nitrates, you know, cow shit or whatever, then you're not going to have too much trouble.
I'm
There's certain plants I know how to grow. There's certain plants
smiling, but I know what you're saying.
I'm thinking though, this gives people an opportunity to talk to members in their community instead of going online. I would normally go online, but it's almost like I'm thinking up reasons to be more proactive with the able-bodied people in my community. I can also talk to my neighbours through the window. I can talk to them through the fence. I've got elderly neighbours, and I'm thinking of things that maybe are helpful. So I'm hoping that this is helping some people in the chat room, or maybe it's giving people in the chat room ideas to do more things, or off the back of that. Because I think, you know, one way or the other, we can all do a little bit. And I think the do aspect of it is the operative word there, because I think this is the one time we're sitting back on our laurels and not doing anything. It's probably not the right thing to do. I have a gut feeling about this. I'm not fear-mongering or anything. I'm just thinking, you know, if at least if we can try and do something within our community. Lettuce, for example, hates direct sunlight. Yeah, you see, there's all these things that for someone that doesn't really know what they're doing. Yes, as I said, there's YouTube, but should we just consider the fact that, let's hypothetically think that when one needs YouTube or the internet, let's say it's not there for some reason. I wouldn't want to put all my eggs in one basket and go, yeah, I'll rely on watching YouTube videos, and then that becomes surplus to requirement, and I find myself completely knowledgeless in how to do this, and I mess up my whole harvest. And I'm saying this, I'm using me as a case study. I'm assuming there's other people that have just been city girls or city guys and never really thought about having to do things like this, or having to need to do things like this. And the last thing I'd want is to be thrown into a situation and be caught with my pants down. Because, you know, it doesn't come naturally to me. And I'm hoping that even if one other person can relate to that and go, oh, do you know what? I'm not really clued up on that stuff either. I'm going to do what Noel said. I'm going to go charity shop tomorrow and see if I can get myself a little book. Or I'm going to actually talk to my neighbours. I see them out in their garden all the time. I might just have a little quick word with them tomorrow and see if I can get any tips or hints. Or, you know, maybe your neighbour might have some spare compost, or, you know somewhere where you can, you know, just, I think, to talk and communicate with your fellow neighbours right now is the key. Even if you're just sparking up conversation, I do think moving forward, it will end up coming into its own right, that everyone's kind of made, you know, contact with one another. You know, now how au fait are you with your neighbours? And can I ask you all in the chat room as well? How many of you talk to your neighbours?
My Serbian next door neighbor. Oh, I'm muted now. My Serbian next door neighbor. I'm very friendly with, although I don't see him very often because we don't really match hours. But like, if I say that if I need to go out, I'll give him my keys, or I'll say watch Marley. No, I haven't ever had to say watch Marley, but I've gone away without notice for like 2 weeks. And said, "Can you feed the cat?" And he's like, "Yeah, no problem."
Oh,
And
I love
look
that.
after the animals. Downstairs, not so friendly. Actually, I don't think they're there because I haven't heard them in 2 weeks. Like,
Oh, right.
they always complain about the sound of Marley's footsteps, and they haven't complained at all. So I don't actually think they're there. I think they may have fled the country.
Okay.
But the rest of the building, we're okay. I donate clothes to the people with babies on the ground floor, and I help the old couple on the third floor with their laundry with their shopping when I see them. But I haven't seen them. It's the winter. They only live here in the summer, so.
Okay. I'm interested to know what you guys think in the chat room as well. Do you guys communicate in the chat room with your street, your community, your local neighbours? Do you interact with them? Have you? Is this something that you've actually proactively thought about? You know what? If I haven't, I better start. I better start now. And I better familiarise myself with the people that live around me. Because as I said, when the lockdown reaches your front door, your family members won't be able to come to you for whatever reason. If it gets as stringent as it's got in other countries, you won't be able to move from region to region, i.e. my dad. My dad's not going to be able to drive from Glasgow and come to London to see me. My dad's in the age bracket that he can't do that. And I've also got a couple of friends that have got family members that are stuck out in Europe and can't come back. I've got a couple of girlfriends who've got husbands that are in Europe who now can't get back, and they're at home with the kids and going, oh, right, so will he be back next week? Will he be back next 2 weeks, 10 days? Certain people don't know right now. You know, and that's very real for some people. So I think, you know, if you do knock on the door over the road, you never know. That neighbor might right over there may be in that situation themselves. It may be the husband that's at home with the child and the wife's in Europe on business and unable to come back. And they're sitting there going, yeah, so this was all right for a week, but I don't really know what to do now because there's people finding themselves in situations that there was no contingency plan for. You know, shout out to Dave Marsh. He's all right just now. He's in the hotel just now. He's had a nice dinner tonight. I kept checking with him and said, you know, are you all right? Is everything cool? And he said, yeah, everything's fine just now. Everything's fine just now. Do you know when you're going to get back? Well, I don't know. If I have to stay here for an extra week, it'll be all right. And I'm going, in my mind, I'm going, yeah, but will it be just an extra week though? When will they repatriate people to the UK from the Canaries? I saw people getting turned around and taken home from Spain. I don't know what the logistics are with people, and I think I'm not the only one that doesn't know that. As I said, I've got personal girlfriends of mine that are literally waiting for the call from their husbands to say when they're going to get out of the country and come back to the UK. So, with that being said, and these are my friends are people that aren't English in the first place. They're here from another country on work. So I don't know what that means for them because they're not UK citizens. Do you understand what I'm talking about with the repatriation thing? If you're, you know, if I'm from England and I'm in Brazil, right, and my husband's French and he's working in Germany, will he get repatriated to? This is the bureaucratic red tape that certain people are having to feed through because of all of these interconnecting countries that people are from. You know, someone's from South America, they're living in the UK, their husband's in a country in Europe, and they're wondering where their husband's going to get repatriated to. They're wondering, should they be going back to source country or stay where they're currently living? These are all these situations here that the mainstream media is not talking about. And there's people I'm talking to that are going, I don't know what's going on. I mean, I'm all right just now. That's what I'm hearing from a lot of people. I'm all right just now. But then when we've got the mainstream media telling us that the elderly are going to get shut down for 12 weeks, we've got a lot of people leaking that the UK, I think this is a great time to be forewarned and forearmed so that we can be positive instead of being unprepared. Does that make sense? I think if you're unprepared, then you end up, you know, being in a kerfuffle and getting in a fluster and not being proactive and doing positive things. Whereas you could be getting. You could be doing whittling.
Well, I hate to bring up Baden-Powell, right? For obvious reasons. Because Baden-Powell, if he were still alive, would be one of the ones being hunted down right now, I believe. But the Boy Scouts had a good motto. be prepared. Always be prepared. Just be prepared, man. And then you're not left hung out to dry. I'm not prepared.
I'm going to ask everyone in the chat room now, do you talk to your neighbours? Yes, press 1, no, press 2. Sorry for the typo. Do you communicate and talk and whatnot with your neighbours? Because I think this is something that we can all talk about. Because you know what? This is something we can start doing tomorrow. This is something we can start doing now. If you're not doing it, this is something you can do right now. You can do it tonight. You can do it first thing in the morning. You can say, look, even if you've had bad air, now's not the time for, you know, carrying that on. Now's the time to go, look, this is uncharted waters.
Yeah, bygones be bygones.
Let's start fresh from now. All right, we're all in this same boat together. Let's move forward together and quash it, and be the first person to don't put your hand forward because you're not allowed to touch him. Be the first person to put your elbow forward and give him a nice little elbow touch, you know.
Or just go like this.
To yourself. That could be the new one, isn't it?
Yeah, that's what I was saying, isn't it? You just, what's up, bro?
Yeah. Can bring it back. But I think that is the best. Clear the air, let bygones be bygones. If you've got neighbours from hell, try and squash it. Just try for whatever reason, just try and squash it. If you know, if you're put in a situation where the only people that are in your community and you're sat there and you're a stranger to your community because you've isolated yourself from them, and then you realize everyone's banding together and it's, you know, you could have avoided all of that. Does that make sense? So I'm just sharing it from me. I wouldn't expect everyone to relate to this. A lot of people might be going, oh, do you know what, Rox, take a run up my hump for that one, love. Yeah, any chance on that? But no, I'd hope that people would go, do you know what? Given the situation that's going on, it couldn't hurt, could it? It couldn't hurt to just push a bit of positivity out there. Just go and give that name. I did today. I went and knocked on a few doors and I just went, hi, I'm Roxanne. I live at number 21. I'm over there if you need anything. On to the next door. I met a good few people I've not spoken to today. Even a family that I would have perceived them to be a bit scared of Kenny. They weren't. They were really up for saying hi to Kenny and everything. So it was a real surprise.
What did I tell you, Rox? Like yesterday, I had a bit of a war with my next door neighbours. A couple of years ago now, wasn't it? When my ex-girlfriend was living with me, and she'd be screaming at me at 4 o'clock in the morning and waking them up, and then so his girlfriend ended up getting in a fight with my girlfriend.
Oh, crikey!
And the Guardia Civil called, and Bea got injured. She got hurt, man, because she's a big girl next door. And we haven't spoken since, because me and him ended up like he was taunting me and pushing me, but it was out on the street and everybody was watching. And he knew everybody was watching, so I couldn't do anything. So I was just like, I'm screaming at him. We're screaming at each other. And we haven't spoken since. But yesterday he was in his car, sat there in his car, and I just thought to myself, I'll just go over and say, you're right, man. Is everything okay? Obviously in Spanish. Hola, amigo. ¿Cómo estás? ¿Está bien? ¿Sí? ¿Todo bien? ¿Sí? Claro. Gracias. I didn't. But I was thinking about it, and I will probably do it at some point if I see him. You know, I'm just gonna, just let him know there's no hard feelings, right?
Oh, good. I think that's a step in the right direction. I'm looking in the chat room as well. Jesse, I'm not sure why it's buffering for you. I'm not seeing anyone else having any issues. But as well, Valley Parks, Kieran as well, Miss Chime, Mighty Atom, Salted Cedar, The Astral Thief, Valley Parks, Jesse. Hopefully it's a bit better for you now. Who else is there? Thomas, Victoria Abbott, 5 Artists is still there. Mountain Smithy. Yeah, Mountain Smithy is in there as well. John Kennedy, Luke Kennedy, Spirit Level, lovely to see you. Yes, very well said. Positive thinking. Feather Bear as well, lovely to see you. DeFranco as well, lovely to see you in the chat room. And Stuart, Roscoe Memphis, Christopher Lee's in the chat room too. And DJ Obsession, Salted Cedar, Nick GB, One Walking Life. Lovely to see you too. Dee.
Can we shout out the guys that aren't signed in as well? The people that aren't actually signed into YouTube and they're still watching. Big shout out to you guys. I think Kay's one of them.
Oh, yeah, nice one. Thank you so much for being there as well. We really do appreciate you too. Pat Riot, lovely to see you in the chat room too.
Pat Riot, you're the man.
Redneck Rebel.
I hope you got my email. Sorry, babe. Pat Riot, I hope you got my email. He donated some money to me in sterling, and it wasn't going through. And then last night he sent me some more money, but in euros. And today when they emailed me again, and on this one there was a chance for me to accept the payment or not. So I refused the payment because he's already sent me euros. So I refused the payment. I just refunded it.
Aww, nice one. Nice one, Pat. Nice one for that, darling. So cool. Wow. 5 artists still in the chat room. Dagon Morningstar in the chat room as well. And anyone else that I may have missed, I'm super sorry. I'll come down again. And Stuart. I will go down to the bottom of the list again, just in case I've missed anyone that's come in. Alfie Patching as well. And Rasta Bear in the chat room. Truth Seeker. And hopefully I haven't missed anyone. Yeah, I think I've got just about everyone. With a bit of luck. Yes. And there's Pat as well. Yes, got email. Thanks. Pat got the email. I'll pop it up on the screen for you so you can see. There you go.
Cool.
Yeah. Cool. All right. So next up, tomorrow. Tomorrow is Wednesday.
We're just smiling.
Is it? All right. It's tomorrow.
Yeah, Wednesday tomorrow.
Yes, Wednesday tomorrow.
I was just singing When You're Smiling because Vertex just popped it up. When you're smiling, when you're smiling. That's the one, isn't it?
Lovely.
The whole world smiles with you.
I'd play it if we didn't get copywritten. Again, we're going to be back tomorrow. I'm going to try and come on a bit earlier tomorrow, give or take half an hour. And the latest will be on tomorrow. It's 7:30. I did want to do 2 episodes. I wanted to split these into 2. I wanted to do 2 2-hour episodes today. But the way my day's gone, I actually haven't had any. There's just not enough hours in today. It's just I've run out of time. I've almost run out of time. I can actually, if you guys want to carry on chatting, yeah. I literally have to go and do a few things. I'm going to need to bring the stream to an end in about 10 or 15 minutes because there's a situation, a cropper with my 17-year-old that needs handling. I just wish I could have a clone of me. Where's my other me? And I could just send her to do it, and then I could stay here talking to you guys. There is a few other things I really wanted to get to this evening, which is why I think I'm going to have to come back on because there are things I really.
What we can do, Rox, we can close the stream down and we can come back on in a bit. I'm here. I'm not going anywhere.
Yeah. Noel, if we bring the stream to a close now, are you going to bed anytime soon? Are you? Because I really want to go. I need to just get past this bit here, get my children tucked up as my children aren't at school tomorrow. I'm not trying to cause any mass panic or anything. My children aren't at school. And I won't go any further than that. I don't want to name their school. My children aren't at school. So Teddington's not on. There's a few other schools in London that are shut down.
I'm good for another hour.
It's because the teachers, they haven't got the teachers, have they?
Yeah?
The teachers aren't going in.
Cool. Sorry, darling. Go on.
Yes, the teachers, because the teachers aren't turning up. It's not because they closed the school because of COVID-19. It's because the teachers aren't going in.
Yeah, so shout out to the girlies that said what they were saying today as well. They know who they
fired.
Are. Yeah. So there was a couple of schools in London
P45
that couldn't open due to lack of teachers. So
what did it used to be called? UB40? No, that was the unemployment slip, wasn't it?
No, that was unemployment. It's the P45, isn't it? P45 in a post for you, son.
Oh, nice one to you, my darling. I'm here, Rox, and well up for part 2. Shout out to you, my darling. Massive love. So yeah,
I'm missing rabbit holes.
I am as well. I've got a good few rabbit holes I want to show you. Have you got some you want to show us now?
I don't know, but I haven't posted an Epstein meme in 2 weeks, and I feel dirty for that reason.
Yeah. So
mate.
Do you know
I'll tell you what, though.
We've got some to go into with that.
I'll tell you what. He didn't bloody kill himself.
Yeah. He didn't. And that's what we'll end this stream with. Epstein didn't kill himself. There are many more rabbit holes to delve into while this madness ensues around us. To everybody in the chat room, thank you so much. And please remember, do not use the super chat link. Do not use the super chat link. Do not use that super chat link.
Please.
Don't.
Not because we're not
See the
grateful.
banner on the bottom of the channel. We are super grateful, but until I can get past this Google AdSense horrific hurdle, there's nothing I can do about it, and your money will
They've
sit
been
there.
withholding the money for months, man.
Your money will sit there. So with that being said, just use the link that's in the description or the link that's on the about section. It's a PayPal link. And I'm just saying that because I've had a few people putting into the super chat and I can't do anything about it. So please, mods, can you just constantly remind people of that so that we don't have anyone putting money into something that I can't do anything about?
We've got 2 PayPal links.
Building 7 didn't kill itself either. Oh, we got some rabbit holes to delve into. So we'll be back for a Really Woke Reports live late night version. So we've got the late night Really Woke Reports.
Should we do it? It's going to be a chill out one, isn't it? We'll chill out later.
We'll dive into
the rabbit holes. A bit more chill out.
Comfy for rabbit holes. Do you know? Do you need to be like comfortable for rabbit holes? Do you need to get like
no rabbit holes calm me down. It's this ADHD panic news that freaks me out because it's not that I'm devoid of opinion. I have an opinion. I'm just not going to find anything to back it up out there. Whereas rabbit holes, there's a lot of stuff to back it up.
I've got some amazing stuff that we can watch.
Oh,
so
really?
Just like have a little gander at. Yeah, man.
Oh, good. Is it rabbit holey?
Well, kind of, yeah.
I have to like get some really good rabbit holey stuff, Rich, because I want to go deep into rabbit holes. Look, I've got my.
This is pretty.
I know. You know, it's the way I've got rabbit holes straight after. I'm gonna.
This is an anthropologist, man. You know him. I've sent you links for Robert Sepper.
So, my darlings in the chat room, we've loved each and every one of you being here with us for Really Woke Reports live this evening. We will be back very, very soon. So make sure you keep abreast with the notification bell. And when you see that come up, hit the reminder so that you don't miss it. Thank you so much again to Noel, Harry Watson, and to the Adam Meakin for joining us, Rich, this evening. This has been excellent. And to anyone that wants us to shine a light on anything, go ahead and pop something in the comment section after, and we will put a light on it. And to anyone that wants to reach out to us for advice, operationrealness@yahoo.com. Your email is Richard Avery
77 at yahoo.com.
Lovely.
And you'll get a reply quicker from my email than you will from Roxanne's, I'd imagine.
Nice.
That's just because Roxanne's really busy, man. I keep pointing the wrong way. Roxanne's really busy. Right, there you go.
Yeah. Do you know what? I went on because it kind of reminded me of the truth. It's the truth. I feel really bad.
Rox, do you remember?
Yeah.
Do you remember?
Oh, yeah.
The lighter thing.
Gives it. It changes colour. Hold on. Go on. Ready? Stay there. Stay still, bro. Stay still. Go on. Pass it up. Now. Go on.
Now. No.
Cheers. It's a magic colour changing lighter.
We got to work on that. We got to. Yeah, we do it there. Look by the there.
Okay, we'll practice. Oh yeah. Oh, hold on. Are we gonna get corona from each other?
I'm gonna tickle your balls, mate.
Wait. Well, that. Do you know what? That escalated quickly, didn't it, boys? All right, Kenny, relax yourself. How about you relax?
Oh my God, my balls, cat.
We've all started my dog off now. We've literally started my dog off. Kenny, can you hear him? In the background?
Just because thankfully Alfie's asleep, but he doesn't have any balls, so please. And we don't like balls, do we?
You actually hear my dog now. He's on one. He's proper on one.
Well, we don't.
No, we don't. No.
I can't speak for everyone.
Well, it's globes. My balls ain't globular anyway.
Right. On that note, on that bombshell of a note, that's where we'll leave it for now. And to all of you in the chat room, please, we'd love to see you back here shortly for Really Woke Late Night Reports with myself, 00, and if Harry will, Noel Harry. Why do I keep calling you Harry, Noel? It's just, it sticks there.
You've been doing that for ages, man.
Because it's in the middle. It just
since
stares
the beginning, it's Harry. And also, because we love Prince Harry, don't we?
We do.
Do we like Prince Harry?
We do. I think we do. Awesome. Shout out to Billy Boy and Arwin and Maggie Ray as well in the chat room as well. And anyone else I've just not seen there. Hold on. There's a couple of more people there that I don't shout. Please, can you stop? Can you stop that, please? We will be back shortly. Mwah. Much love to you. And I will play you out with this little... Hopefully, she says. I'll play you out with this.
Reporting to you with no bias. Informing
Gosh,
you
that chap sounds familiar.
nothing but the facts. Let's get the truth together.
See you later.